Hello, hello, hello from our friends at fairlease.org who bring you today's program. Go to fairlease.org and they will help you lease your next vehicle. They do it super easy. Where is Fairlease? They're at fairlease.org. White glove service means you can do this all from the comfort of your own home. They'll take care of it for you from beginning to end, from giving you your trade-in value to delivering the car right to your mistress's house where you're staying because you're in a fight right now with your wife. They'll do that at fairlease.org. Go to the website, click Request a Quote, and then on the How Did You Hear About Us page, select the Dumb Zone at fairlease.org.
It is Thursday, Juneteenth. Huh? What do you think about that?
Happy Juneteenth. Merry Juneteenth.
You're free!
Not yet. Give us a few months.
All teenths matter to me. I don't think we should just celebrate Juneteenth.
Okay.
Anyway, today
I don't need March in my June.
we are not broadcasting from our Game Day Men's Health studio. Like, we had a big announcement, new naming rights to the studio. Game Day Men's Health, where you can get 10% off your TRT treatment for life if you just mention the Dumb Zone. For life. And they're helping you live longer. So it's a bad deal for them. Anyway, we sold the naming rights. They bought the naming rights. We've had an agreement for the naming rights. And we were in studio one day, and then, like, are we ever going to be back in that studio? That's the question.
Yeah, well, the thing is, with me personally, Dan, Game Day Men's Health Studio is just in me, as it's coursing through my veins at 10% off. So, wherever I am, that's where Game Day Men's Health is.
Anyway, we're not there. We're high atop my garage today. As we have a sit-in, was this sit-in at the behest of any client, or no? Is this just a sit-in because he kind of wanted to be here?
I think this is a sit-in that was a gift by his wife.
Nice.
Can we say your name? What's your name?
Scott.
Scott. Is your last name the same as your wife's?
No.
Okay.
I already did it.
Oh, you did that? Because I looked at his wife's name and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Are you a disgraced
He seems a little confused. He seems
referee
like, because of the NBA Finals.
Not a disgraced referee, but just a, yeah.
Man, I don't know. Maybe more on that another day, if you care. Why is he not disgraced? We know he was on the phone with a goddamn mafia head for 70 games right before and after one season.
Write that down for Ethan
Like, what are we
Strauss
talking about?
Because
the guy who's still the head referee on the NBA Finals. It's crazy.
But isn't it because the NBA, they had to go to great lengths to say this is a one-man job?
Yeah.
This is a one-man problem. We've cut the cancer out. Everything else is very healthy. There's no one – because can you imagine this? It's a big enough scandal as it was.
Oh, yeah.
But if
that's the common
others
move.
are implicated – but, yeah, you're right.
But this Scott Not Foster, he kind of looks like was his name Pat O'Brien, the TV news host guy who then was like office rocker drunk on that voicemail. He just looks like a 90s news guy you really don't want to mess with.
He looks well put together. He's got a mustache.
He does. That's what I'm saying. I think that
you
was
and Blake look great together.
It's Beehive solidarity.
Is it?
Nice.
Are you in the Beehive?
Yeah. But I'm not a mustache guy outside.
Look at how excited Blake is
this
now.
visit.
It's humbling.
Yeah, you don't remember Pat O'Brien, or am I crazy?
No, I know what you're saying. Do you want me to?
No, I'm looking at it again.
What should we do to? We all nodded. Yes.
No
Jake.
one even nodded.
Isn't Jake right?
Yeah, Jake's
Isn't he
so
great?
right. Gosh, every day he's bringing up like a cool reference. Like
his recall is amazing.
Pat O'Brien.
He's the best.
Didn't even get a pedo.
I mean, he's no Pete O'Brien. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to mention that tonight we have our DZQBR. It is for our VIP subscribers. For now, at least, the only way to do that is on the Substack. which you can find at dumbzone.com. But I think in our meeting we might discuss whether or not we should open this up to the Patreon subscribers as well. Because, all subscribers matter. All subscribers, all teens.
All teens.
Anyway, that's at 6 p.m. tonight. If you would like to be a part of that, you can go to dumbzone.com and get involved. Let's see. So we have Scott, not Abby. I'm looking at my run sheet. Was I allowed to mention your wife's name?
I guess so.
Dump that, Blake? No, we were out, you could see Blake dressed up. He thought Abby was showing up.
I wore
He's
pants.
wearing pants.
Shaved.
There's no one to escort to the door.
We have.
No, I'll just sit here.
That's right. You'll be leaving on your own.
Don't let the door split you, Scotty.
We have a bunch of sports. It is Thursday, so we got the big viewer mailbag, stuff like that. I don't know if you have closing remarks, but that'll be open for you, if indeed that's your thing. What kind of a gift? Just random or a birthday?
Birthday.
Okay. Is that now?
That's now.
Today?
Today.
Oh, we actually got it on the birthday.
How many, you said your wife had been married before. Is this one or two for you?
This is one.
One. Interesting. How long was she married before?
I think a little over 10 years.
Are you jealous of that?
Of her ex-husband?
Yeah. Just that exists?
Oh, that I missed that time with her? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the looming that there's an ex-husband in it. It's different than an ex-boyfriend that you dated for 10 years, I would think. But I don't know.
I think it would be with an ex-husband, it would be more civil. It's an adult
because,
thing.
Hey, we both
moved. Yeah, it was
the other guy might just be showing up all the time, ugh.
Yeah.
Drunk.
And I actually remember that, too. I remember when, I don't want to, put your family business on the street, but if you've been through when your parents get divorced, people from before show back up. You know what I mean? People from their past relationships or whatever, and then those you don't want.
Well, that's technically true of us, though.
Ooh.
We dated about 20 years ago.
That's how my dad...
Nice!
Reconnected.
That's
nice!
how Chappie and my
cool.
stepmom are, man.
That's a dream, bro.
My dad made a run. He referenced it
Yeah.
on Father's Day. He's like, you broke my heart when I was 18 that day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. And then,
Did you think she was the one that got away?
for sure, we both felt that way.
Dang. That's awesome.
Yeah, she was thinking
Yeah.
that during her marriage. That's awesome.
You both thought so? It was a mutual split at the time?
Yeah, we were just dumb and up our own butts and couldn't get out of the way to work things out. But
Now,
Does she have kids from the previous marriage?
yeah.
Okay. You don't like them then?
Oh, yeah, I love them.
Oh, okay.
They're
whatever.
great. Yeah,
Just
5
gotta
and
say
11. They're fun. Fun ages.
my stepdad rocks. What do you say, 5 and...
11.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he was giving me how tall the kid was. Okay.
Oh, yeah, he's 5'11". He's great.
He'll get
He's
to
got-
6 foot someday,
He's
bro.
got a 70 grade palm.
yeah, he's 5'11". He's I didn't know what he was saying.
No, they're great.
So this morning, I got a thing that's not sports and stuff, and then
Sure.
we'll get into sports and everything. But, in fact, we could make this brought to you by our friends at Community Mechanical, because that's our HVAC company. Mm-hmm. We love Travis, folks.
We love Travis.
They love Travis. He's a big boy.
You ride him.
Look, he's a big fella at Community Mechanical. Yeah, he's the guy that came out, preventative maintenance. They'll do that for you. You can sign up for that. Don't you get something if you sign up for that, like a free T-shirt?
Yeah, you get a DZ merch of your choice from the store, up
okay.
to $50 for that PM. If you go ahead and get that full HVAC system, though, you'll get a $6.90 sit-in. You'll get to benefit just like Scott is here today. They'll do for you what men's wives are doing for them everywhere, giving them a sit-in at communitydfw.com. Travis is like the sweetest guy in the world. Everybody we've met at Community they're really great dudes. They're on top of their stuff. They came out to my house. They came out to Dan's house. So give them a shot to earn your business. 469-667-7290. Text them or communitydfw.com. Dan?
So this morning, I woke up super early. In fact, I woke up and I like to wake up later because I just can't sleep 12 hours anymore. And it bothers me. I used to be a champion at sleeping, and I cannot. It bothers him, too. Blake is upset at his
I'm not upset.
A man he patterned his life after?
No.
Sleep late?
When I first met you and I realized you were an ally, you were a 3 a.m. guy, sleep in past noon. I was like, yep, it's one of us.
And it probably made him think this is sustainable for me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's upset, yeah.
Yeah. Because now I'm getting up early because y'all are up early. I got to change my life.
It's definitely seeing the 38-year-old pitcher who can't quite get it up there anymore. Blake's out here like, oh, wow, it's coming for all of us.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, woke up. I like to see the sun. So if you don't see any sun coming through, you know, it's a little too early here. I know I'm going to have to now struggle to get back to sleep. It was actually 4:20 exactly because I saw that on my phone and went in my head. I was like, yeah, bro. Of course I woke up at 4:20.
Weed God.
Yeah, you know, weed. Everybody knows that. So, struggling to go back to, I couldn't go back to sleep, and I'm thinking, you know what? I think my gym opens at 5. Why not? Like Jake. Again, trying to be more like Jake. That's what my wife would say. I'm like, you know what? I think I'll go to the gym. But before coffee, like I'm a routine guy, and I have it mentally trained that I can't do anything unless I have coffee and yogurt and whatever oatmeal that I drink or
it's
eat.
A real thing, that mental prep.
Yeah. So anyway, then I actually kind of dozed off. I didn't get up for that early morning thing. But we've been prepping a lot of stuff, and I kind of have a lot of the show prepped. So I came up, prepped the show and all that. I got it all done, and it's like 10 o'clock. Or 5 till 10. I'm like, what if I do a Jake? Just because I work out in the afternoon usually. And it's a bit of a struggle. You've kind of done your whole day. You've been on a phone call. I don't know how many afternoons I have just left the parking lot because I'm on a sales call or something. And I just like, now it's like 5:30 and I'm really hungry. I want to eat. So I'll just leave.
Yeah, it's a struggle the afternoon. You're a better man than I on that
So I'm like,
front.
you know what? I'm going to go to the gym right now. Jake does it. Like, I can get that workout done in 45 minutes or so. Why not? So I head to the gym. Made a call on the way. Head to the gym. And I got to tell you, I thought, it'll be dead in here. Because it's 10 a.m. When I go, usually 4:30, it's packed with people getting off work. Dudes. It's packed at 10 a.m. with ladies.
Okay.
With milfy, hot, suburban,
right.
Keeping it together. I don't have a job. I dropped my kids off at school, and now I am here at the gym making, setting up. I've got this guy in my head. I'm married to this guy, but I've got a guy in my head that I used to date that I hope I get back with someday, and I'm going to keep working it and keep it together for that guy.
Yeah, well, if you lose motivation, you can get some from your nice 25-year-old trainer that you can pay there and hang out with you there. So they have options.
But, because I calculated, too, we have the VIP event tonight, so I'm like, man, that'll be really a beating. Get on and go work out and then have to go do it. I feel great.
Yeah,
Let's see how I feel after the show and all that. But I feel like the morning workout, you guys got something, or you got something here. This ain't bad.
Yeah, I mean, well, the first thing is like when
if you prepped enough. For
that's the thing is you have to just I don't know. I just do like a time budget. All right, I've got these 3.5 hours this morning. Is there a 45 or 50-minute window in there? And I get beaten down by driving to the gym and then looking at like the parking lot. That's why I have to do the garage. But I think in the morning, I usually listen to a podcast or whatever for the show. This morning, I listened to a bunch of Cowboy Spares talk, and you just work out and you feel better. I try to time out like my meds, like my feel-good meds for right now. Like everything, just lay it out for right now. And then whenever we get done here, I'm useless.
I think you'll keep your energy knowing that you don't have to go to the gym.
That's huge.
That's the thing. It's you said the mental block is the thing.
You're
that's
just
what
downhill. It is. Just coasting. It's great.
Like
you know what I did last night?
Watching those Twitter videos or whatever that's like, I feel so good because I accomplished more. I actually do feel that. And I hate it. I don't want to feel like that.
Blake.
I don't want to feel like it.
You're losing,
I know.
Losing Dan to me and the douchebags.
That's right. I had 3 days.
We're like a
in
week
the last
away
2
from
hours.
him. You know how sometimes he like takes his hat off and he's like, "Oh, I thought I had a different hat on." We're like a week away from him being like, "Oh, I forgot my weight vest on." Like when the show's already started.
Yeah, I saw a guy on a call walk in your neighborhood with a weight vest, and I thought, you're approaching that.
It's just efficiency, dude. That's all it is.
No, I'm.
Oh,
What?
before we get to this next thing, I have to ask you guys a question. If I record people without them knowing out in public, can we just play that fine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Because I'm going to start rolling on.
Like
well,
I know.
I did yesterday. I rolled on the sauna for 15, 20 minutes. And I think I want to do a bit where I just say what I was thinking the whole time. Because my gym right now, Dan, at 5 o'clock, if I go there, it's for sauna. It's always packed. It's extra packed now because it's a rec center, You're at the gym. For me, that like if you have a reading camp, it's at the rec. So I parked. Everyone's distracted. I parked. It felt like an hour away from the door. There were 10, 12 guys in the sauna all talking at once.
Olds.
Israel.
Whoa, really?
Oh,
Yep.
okay. The
Israel.
Tennessee Supreme Court vote.
That didn't come up, but there was obviously Israel. Russia came up, and ailments, the various surgeries.
Are you chiming in?
No, but I started rolling.
Ailments?
Oh well, yeah, like surgeries,
Olds? Okay.
cancers. Yeah, what have you had removed? It was awesome. Learned to love it.
I will say the only downside to morning workout guy is it'll hit me starting about after the show that I have to wake up early.
That's
get
the
it done.
perfect time to get ready for bed.
But see, I'm still not there yet. I still can't go to bed before 10.
Oh, it's so great.
But I'll have a stress in me in the evening knowing I got to wake up early. But you do feel better.
So let's do some sports. Hold on a second. Should we work on a quick live read? It's not really a read. It's just us talking. Oh, we can do this one real easy because we want to promote tomorrow. We'll be at the Constellation Club.
Oh, yeah.
The Constellation Club is in Las Colinas. And what is it? Eventbrite.com if you would like to RSVP. I think you can just show up, but they kind of want to know for food and all that kind of stuff. So if you are planning on going, like if you're not planning on it, but then it just strikes you tomorrow, just go anyway. But if you're planning on it and you know you're going to go, RSVP at eventbrite.com.
$2wings.com. $2
Okay.
wings, $2 tamales, $1 giraffes on a Friday afternoon from a cool spot. So we don't do these too often. Come on out and consume.
Yeah. So, join us there tomorrow. 3 to 6 is the show. We should mention that. That's a different bit.
Yeah.
We don't usually do 3 to 6. So, in sports, I have a lot. I have a lot of quick hits.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I have some audio for you. I have a Cleveland Browns quarterback getting a ticket. But at the end of sports, we kind of have a big project. And we want to promote that with a guy that Intern Henry just walked up here. Intern Henry just walked a guy up here. Can you hand him the microphone?
We're good.
This guy's name is Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, boys.
Nice to meet you.
Let me ask Blake if you recognize Chris.
Should I?
Stand up. Stand up. No? Don't recognize Chris?
Former athlete?
Maybe stand far
Oh,
away.
Blake's first look made me think that he was all the way in on this.
Do you not
Should-
recognize him at all?
Should I know you? Am I in the wrong here?
I'm happy that you don't.
Yeah, we're all very
Yeah.
pleased.
He was
I'm
very,
very, very
concerned that you'd recognize him right away.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay, good.
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
So Chris emailed me. In fact, I have the first email right here.
February.
Well, he emailed quite a bit before this because Chris is a supporter, early Dumb Zone supporter. But he emailed me in January and said, please don't read this on the air. I think you meant then.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
If you can get me a schedule of some of Blake's softball games, I will go out and get footage of his at-bats. and share with you and Jake.
Whoa.
So we're like, I don't know.
Sure, man.
So then he emails me in. Anyway, Jake sent him like the schedule, like the link to whatever online.
You think this is going to pay off?
And then he says, hey, I'll go out to his game, video a game. So he then emailed me February 17th, and he went and got a bunch of note and sent us notes and video. And like he wrote that this softball league, I don't know if you knew this, it's next level. I thought it would be dudes showing up with faded First Baptist Church T-shirts on. It's the opposite. It's the nicest softball facility I've ever seen. Every team has legit jerseys. They must have cost $75 each. These dudes are all serious about their fun. So he gave us a detailed, just a point-by-point, play-by-play. He starts off with game 1 of your season. Blake is legit. He plays shortstop. He doesn't just stand there. Anyway, a full, detailed scouting report of each one of these games. Then he emailed me again like week 4. After week 1, he emailed and said, hey, this is kind of fun. I think the season's only 5 weeks long. I'll go to every game. And we're like, I'm not going to ask you to do this, dude. Like, this one is awesome. But if you want to, do it. Do your bit. Then, after 5 weeks, he goes, oh, I realize it's like 14 weeks, but I'm having a great time. I think I'm going to keep doing this. And so what Chris has done is he went to every game that Blake played, videoed every at-bat
How did you do that?
that Blake was involved in, and he
It
would
was tough.
constantly email me
It was
about,
really tough.
Where were you?
I think he's on to me.
I was doing my best to just hide the entire time, and I would. So you know where the tables are out in the little common area.
Yeah.
Whatever field you guys were on, I would just kind of have to be kind of and okay. And when I would see your dad was coming up, I'd pop up, and I would get to a position where hopefully you wouldn't see me, and then it was a whole lot of
Dang.
shady video, and I was so worried all season long, and you and I nearly bumped into each other a couple times going in and out of the bathroom, and I was in full panic mode, and I just because look, I don't blend in well. I mean, I kind of stand out against white brick, and yeah. Anyway,
You're very tall. You're 6'5".
yes, sir.
Yeah. And you would say, especially on those games like 8 a.m. and 40 degrees, there's no one else there except like you and another guy or something.
Yeah. Especially early on. Blake, that first game of the season, it was late March, and probably I think it was 38 degrees and wind blowing in at 8 a.m. and there's no one else out there. and I mean, I look like a tree in the middle of a field, and so I was just like, well, this isn't going to last long.
It never crossed my mind.
Oh, thank God.
And to the point, like, I don't even recognize you now.
He was
I had
worried.
Good.
I had no idea.
Okay. Now, whether or not it's going to pay off or not, I don't know. I mean, I've been worried about that since day one, but I committed to the bit, and here we are.
You were at every game?
All but 2.
Should we just do this here?
Yeah.
Let's just do it
I was
right
there.
here. I don't
well,
want.
that's a lie.
Go for it.
I was there 15 out of 17 weeks. Every game.
I'm
And he
blown
was-
away at your dedication.
He was also at the Dumb Zone's generic summer event presented by Qualis Roofing, which he was
Okay.
worried about attending because we thought
Yeah, he
would
emailed
run
us
into
like,
you.
"Hey, I think he'll recognize me," and we're like, "No, dude, go ahead, go out there, whatever."
Yeah, and I don't know why, but in my head I was imagining like me when I was 25. Just I had an apartment by a softball field. Some podcast I listened to, there's I'll get baked and go over there on Sunday and watch. And then we met him, and he's like a real adult. Like, he's
Yeah,
like
with a job,
well
That's
put
questionable.
together
money,
individual.
like all
I
of
was
our
like-
listeners.
And then it made sense because the reports he would send us, he writes like Grantland Rice. Like, it's the best sports details and flowery. And yeah,
He
it was
wrote
it was
full-
a joy every Monday morning to receive.
At least a page or more notes every week.
Because there's 2 games, so you'd have,
Unreal.
half a page.
I didn't think it would be. What am I going to do? Just go? Blake was 3 for 4 today, and they
No.
lost. I mean,
If you're
that
gonna
would- that
do
would-
it, do it right.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But you didn't stop, like, when you were driving to the field saying this is not worth my time?
Oh no! I thought that every Sunday when I had to get up, especially
when I had to get up.
Stupidly, I thought when this whole deal started, you live out near me, and I just thought he's in a softball league near us. It's 45 minutes from the house.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah.
And so for your 8 a.m. games, I'm cussing at myself for why did you do this? Because it's 6:30 on a Sunday, and why are you getting up to do this?
Yeah, why'd you do it week 2? Like week 1, I would think.
Well, here's
Because
why.
I told you I would do it.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, so let me give you some. This is game 1, early scouting reports. Like the first time you ever saw him, Blake is legit. He plays shortstop. He doesn't just stand there watching the play when the ball is nowhere near him. So he moves around. Runs out the play even though he knows it's an out. Now, in this first game, things did not go well for the Cardinals. You're on the Cardinals?
No game went well for the Cardinals.
Okay, we'll get to that. This was lost. It looks like, I don't know if it, I guess a walk-off. Cardinals gave up a grand slam with 2 outs. They lost 11-15, 15-11. And then his last note for game 1, Blake deserves better. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you'll see this as we follow, but I followed this like Blake was a distressed NBA star on a bad team that was just having to carry the whole thing, and the pressure's getting to him. Look, I'm scoring my points.
So it looks like they lost 15-11 the second game as well. So very consistent there. Next week, week 2.
Slow-mo.
Week 2. Yeah, we have some of the video, too, if you want to go to our YouTube
Just
show.
highlights rolling there. Dude can mash. I don't think there's any question about that.
Let me see. I want to make sure, because I have a couple I wanted to pull out, but not till week 7. It's special. But week 2 we go to, where he says there's a lot of more spectators. BJ is at shortstop. Where else would he be? You like calling him BJ. Is that because of BJ on Righteous Gemstones? What is your thought on Blake? He does sound a little bit like BJ on Righteous Gemstones.
I don't know. It was probably just
Easier to write.
Lazy. Yeah, I was just being lazy.
BJ with a sliding play to his right to grab a hard grounder. It's unfair how casual he is, but it's just expected. Like, we knew that you would receive this well because he's writing just glowingly about you. It sounds here like you are Barry Bonds on steroids. Let's see, game 2 of or in game 1, BJ is automatic. I was wrong. He says I was wrong because I called it a grand slam on video. Easy 3-run home run to left center. He says after game 1 of week 2, they just took a group picture after the game at home plate. I tried to stand up and be in the background. Need to ask Blake for this picture at some point to see if I'm in it.
Let me find it.
See if you can find that and send it to Clayton.
He also would update the stats of like your dad, but also the fake your dad. So that was confusing for me to follow as well. There was Blake Senior, and there was fake Blake Senior.
So he's
the guy that you and your dad and another guy had the same number.
Oh, yeah.
And it bothered me all season long.
Yeah.
But he was just fake Blake Senior.
That's funny. Yeah, he had a bad year.
okay. So a lot of this is about that you are a diamond surrounded by poo-poo. Okay? That you're clearly the best player and your team is not good. He does write, Blake's third baseman has a glove at least. He made some plays out there this week. He won't be a target when Blake goes all Columbine on them. Like, this is only game 3, and you're already thinking you are correctly identifying Blake and then the team. Game 3, down 13-6 after 4 innings with 11 minutes on the clock. That's right. They gave up 11 in 1 inning.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Here's his note after week 2. My one request is to coordinate with and have Sarah in studio if I get to come into the show for the reveal. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
But you get to meet intern Henry. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And Scott.
Okay. Hey, Scott.
Scott's pretty cool, yeah.
How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Is that you in the back right there? Green shirt.
Week 3, temperature is 58 degrees with a wind.
Probably me.
It's cold.
That makes me happy.
As of this week, Blake leads the team with 10 RBI, 583 average, 1788 ops, and 1250 ops. Or,
what do you want him to do?
Slugging. Yes, he did note fake BJ Senior. What's that?
I said, what do you want him to do? I mean, he's doing his part.
No,
he's scoring all the runs.
He was doing more than his part. And no offense to any of his teammates. Let me qualify all this. But yeah, he was. I was all prepared for this just to be, let's get together and kick Blake in the nuts. And it was apparent from minute one that okay, well, he's an animal out there, and this is just going to be a Blake tribute hour.
Game 2 of Week 3, down 7-1 after 2.
Yeah.
Which seems to be, that would be almost every one of your
That's
reports.
a theme.
Blake with a solo blast. You could tell he's pissed at the lack of offense and just decided to launch one to left center.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that because I did try to change my what my team needed from me. Try to get on base a little more as they moved me to the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
But I was stranded a lot.
As you can see in the highlight video we're rolling, I actually noted that, and you started basically just pulling everything right down the line that you wanted. Mm-hmm. The funniest thing to me, not knowing anything about softball, like level of what skill to expect, in the off chance the guy playing third is able to dig one of those hot shots out, he thinks he's like Josh Young, and he's just, dude, you're never making that throw. Like, Blake is already, like, hands on his hips before the guy gets the ball to first. You were just shooting him down the line, though. Like,
yeah, there were a number of times.
Pinpoint accuracy.
There were a number of times, and it may have been on video because I couldn't help myself. I thought he murdered the guy at third. and if they weren't scouting beforehand, and if they were on the infield, I was genuinely worried that he was going to just hammer someone.
You could tell, like, when he decided, all right, this is what we're doing.
Couple things I noted watching the video that I didn't know about men's softball. So some guys will pull a net out there and pitch behind that.
Yeah.
They all appear to be olds.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're afraid of what Blake might do to them.
Well, not me.
You know to, like, avoid the pitcher?
Yeah, I don't blow up middle. Some guys will.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Like just to rattle
Because that's
the
an
pitcher?
easy, yeah, he's not going to stop it. And so if you just hit a missile up the middle, it's a guaranteed single. Or if it does hit the pitcher, they're not going to throw you out.
Okay, I noticed something else.
Yeah.
When rounding the bases, and I think we have an inside the park home run to watch at some point, but it looks like when you score, I was like, wait, what are they doing? They run, there's like another home plate,
That's
not at home plate?
That's to avoid collisions at home.
Well, how do you get out then?
If the catcher catches the ball with his foot on the bag, just like at first, it's basically a force. If you beat the runner home,
Okay.
it's an out. And
okay, we have really woked up softball.
Yeah.
Softball already is woke baseball.
Correct. And
So you're running around third.
No, I saw
and then
it,
there's
yeah.
a
I
plate
saw it, but
10 feet behind where the real plate is.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you get to that plate before he can catch the ball, then you're safe.
Yeah, that was my question, because the catcher's still guarding home plate.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, why aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
there's a yellow marker along third base that's like your cutoff line. Like as soon as you cross the yellow, you got to go, which keeps people from just like creeping down just to see if the catcher caught it. The other thing is there is a mat over home plate, and if the ball hits the mat, it's a strike. And so it used to be a judgment call for the umpire whether it was a strike or not. Now if it just hits the mat, it's a strike. And so they're trying to take like all.
Why wouldn't they say if it hits home? Why do you have to put something on home?
It's bigger than just home plate.
Oh.
But they're trying to take out any sort of like what situation could cause an argument. The umpires don't call balls and strikes. There's no collision at home.
The umpires don't call them.
Well,
like
they,
it has
they
to
do,
hit the mat.
but it's not a judgment call anymore.
It just has to hit the mat.
It just has to hit
and
the
if it doesn't
mat.
hit the mat, then that's it.
Right.
Huh.
So you're right. It is turning more woke.
You know, the
but-
funniest thing about this is that softball and all of its iconography, which involves a lot of beer, they look around and they're like, we have too many fights. What is wrong with the rules?
Right.
Right.
What are some things we could change and tinker with on the edges here? While never
I remember
being like,
my stomach,
everybody
though-
here's had a 12-pack.
My stomach used to really kill me, like burn, after I drank. What's vodka and orange juice? Why can't I remember that? Oh, screwdriver.
The acidity.
But that's what I would be like, you know what?
That softball juice.
I should stop drinking the orange juice. So I'll just drink vodka. Like,
okay.
I didn't think about the fact that I drank
Sure.
10 of these things. That may have also contributed to the whole thing, but same bit.
Too much vitamin C.
We are now in week 5, where he's writing about the Blake's third at-bat had a lazy pop-out to second to end an inning. This is one of the rare bad at-bats. Reached way out to cover the plate. I think being down 15-5 is having an effect on him.
Yeah. Yep.
And they lost that one 15-8.
No defensive highlights for me?
No, those are too hard to get. I know.
He knows
I
when you're at
captured
bat.
them. Well, but I captured them in the show or in the game notes, but I couldn't.
I was proud of a few plays this year.
Right, he would have to have a camera trained on you the whole time.
No, you made some fantastic.
now you're criticizing.
That's too far.
You're criticizing
Got it.
this guy now?
Got it.
He's driving at 6:45 in the morning on a Sunday to go see you play softball. He didn't get
Why
my.
didn't you track me in the cage?
He didn't get my highlight. We go to week 6, where Blake at the end of the game is in the batter's box and has to watch them go 1, 2, 3 again. He sat there for 10 seconds after the last out in disbelief. Another Cardinal came up to him and had to give him a pep talk or an apology to get him to move.
I've been there.
Yeah. This season wore on me, man.
Must have been in the on-deck circle, not the batter's box. And
You're right. Yeah.
Cards lost that game, it says here, 14-0.
Our first time through the lineup, I think this is the game. We had one hit, and that was my leadoff single. And then for the next 3 or 4 innings, it was 1, 2, 3 every time.
Chris is laughing.
Yeah.
We go to week 7.
Dude, you got to see me really pissed off.
I know I did. Yeah.
And I try not to show that to most, but I can't.
Does he
I
ever
couldn't
get into
help
it with other players?
No, not at all. No, he
Well-
was. Well, not from my distance. Not that I
Yeah.
could see. I wasn't ever close enough to hear anything. But no, he looked like just the consummate teammate and the consummate professional out there. He really did.
He had a mustache.
Yeah,
For the later
just when you see Blake, I promise there's a compliment coming.
I don't care. You can insult me.
No. I mean, because you're an average-looking human being, right?
I'll take it.
Kind of short, a little stocky. Like, does this guy got
little
anything?
thick. But when the dude is on the softball field, he is the alpha out there, and it shouldn't be that way. It just shouldn't.
I agree. And by the way, it's not just softball. I mean, every sport I've played with him, I'm not saying he's still got it like this, but
No,
I
he's
feel like
just
I've been around a
natural-
lot of good athletes in my life, and he was one of the more surprising ones.
Right.
Where you're
Well,
like,
I can tell
okay.
you this: if you don't touch 85 in your own little endeavor, he is going to murder you. I'm just telling you now.
That's why he's looking forward to this.
I know.
And I
yeah.
am too.
It's starting to shape up in my head of what this could look like.
But he's used to soft pitches.
Yeah.
He's not used to the heat,
Right.
the temp heat. Week 7, Chris's first note is, you could tell Blake is sick of this team. He didn't even mention softball during the weekend check.
Boy, that fell off fast.
So apparently, it was a few weeks in, and you're like,
yeah.
Well,
what'd you do this weekend? Nothing.
every time after that softball came up, it was just us. Oh, how'd it go? And we knew you'd lost like 19-4.
So the first
5 errors. How'd it go yesterday?
selected video I need, Clayton, is he did say week 7 was his worst at-bat of the year. And if you could pull that up, he describes it as a soft grounder to short, fielder's choice to reach first base. So just wanted to note that he did tell us your absolute worst at-bat of the year.
There were a lot of them.
Because you're going to have your best at-bat is going to come up at some point. Blake, though, killing it on D in that same game. Hard grounder up the middle. BJ with a snag, steps on second, and the easy, for him, throw to first for the double play. Apparently that's not easy for everybody.
Solo doubles? No. I don't know what softball is supposed to look like. So one of the favorite, or my favorite parts of this was watching Blake just bomb balls to the warning track and then watch old guys try to make sense of making that play. they end up on the ground almost every time as they're just backtracking and stumbling.
There's almost no spatial awareness.
None.
And
bang into the wall.
I don't know if everyone has had rotator cuff injuries out there, but Blake is one of the few that throws the ball correctly. It like everyone, like you can attest to this. Almost everyone out there throws the ball with their elbow down below their shoulder, and like they can't get any kind of rotation on it.
Right.
And yeah, none of them know what a cutoff man is.
So you're playing the Braves in Week 7. And Chris writes, there's an asshole that plays for the Braves that is chirping the entire game at his team on how to hit and defensive alignment. So you've always got that, right? The one guy that's, he's the pro baseball player / I don't know if you can remember that.
Not yet.
Then he writes, a couple innings later, Blake's soul has to be leaving his body. They're getting hammered by a shitty team now. They're down 19-3 after 1.5 innings.
Good God. They don't cap the inning?
No.
Blake with an angry home run to left center. He's still got it. They lost 19-10. Week 9. Ooh, your best at-bat's going to be coming up here. He says, BJ with a stinger at the third baseman's face. I nearly saw a death on the field.
Shouldn't have been standing there.
Between games, he writes, bonus coverage. We have a Brooks sighting. On the field with Blake between games, as a dad whose son played a decade of serious travel baseball, seeing him on the field with the little man makes my old heart happy. I'm not gay. You're gay. Shut up.
This is so nice. It's just a jerk. He got invested in the season. He's reflecting on fatherhood. We're
Dude,
getting
you
content.
saw a lot of bad softball.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
so
No, it's
sorry.
fantastic.
No, but think about it. Like seasons in hell or whatever. These are the stories that stick with us from the world of sports.
He apologizes for bad camera work for your first at-bat. Barely caught him smoke a hard line drive over the left fielder's head. A stand-up triple. Clearly the spare in left field didn't know who Blake is. He knows now. And then we go to BJ's second at-bat. May have been his best of the year. Do we have that? Big outside-in swing drives a twisting fly ball to center field. The guy had zero chance at it. The man on first correctly held up, waiting to see if it was a flyout. By the time he sees it, it won't be caught. Blake is running full speed and is 5 feet behind him on the base path.
Watch.
Are we
this
watching it
was.
here?
It's very Keystone Cops. Blake almost beat him home. Yeah,
Blake checks out.
he does.
So, an inside-the-park home run. He says, much like those that were there when Nolan punched Ventura, I will brag about this day to others that I was there.
Dan, watch this one again. If you can play it again, Clayton.
I've seen it.
Okay, I just wanted
50
to run
times
it. I just
last
want to
night.
run it one more time.
Go ahead.
The guy at the wall and then Blake on the bases.
He says, very random observation. You will see 3 to 4 fake Joba Chamberlains out here every week.
Yeah. Boy, that's accurate.
Tubby white guys with out-of-control beards are common.
Yeah.
And then he wants to give a shout-out to the City of Allen Parks Department. Nicest public bathrooms I've had the pleasure of pooping in. A shout-out to Jake as well.
Nice.
Definitely will poop here again soon.
Thumb ups, five stars. That's awesome.
Let's see. Random observation he wants to give about your league, I guess. Standing about 10 feet from me, there's a grown 65-year-old man in a Yankees uniform, pants and jersey, loosening up and taking practice swings right out in the common area where people are walking around. The Yankees are not playing right now.
No.
So,
Yeah, that fits.
How full uniform, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
oh, this is week 13. I might have.
I mean, like pants pulled up, stirrups, the whole 9 yards.
Okay,
It's
this
amazing.
is. I labeled this because I watched all these videos. The cockiest home run of the year. It is week 13. He says, Blake with another bomb. He knew it was gone as soon as it left the bat. I hope the video caught it. We're down 13-10. And I think, yes, the swing and just the walk, like
Oh my.
the cockiness of, that's so gone, I don't even need to. And then in softball, you don't have to run the bases, right, if you don't run?
No.
No, and he's really taking advantage of that. God, that's arrogant.
In that game, you lost
What do you want me
16
to
to 10.
do?
I want you to do
Give me a
that.
jog out of the box.
I want you to do exactly that. I want you to look like disgusted that you just had to park that baseball on the other side of the fence. And you
Well,
do.
no one is helping me.
They lost 16 to 10. He says the Cards made at least 6 fielding errors.
Yeah.
He does have you in Week 13 now that you're hitting first. He says, I swear this team is draining the life force out of our hero. They're down 8-0 after 3 innings.
Nothing.
Instead of Jake killing a cow with his bare hands, I'd like to have you come and choke out everybody but the Joneses on this team.
With all due respect to his teammates,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. Great
Sure.
guys. Great guys.
16 minutes left on the clock, down 9-0, game over, shutouts. More than anything, I'm glad that
Shutout.
little Brooks isn't old enough to see his dad being broken down by this season.
Yeah.
Week 14, God Almighty, he writes. This is among. You got to understand, he's got 30 points per game. I'm just highlighting a few of them.
Golly, the dedication.
God Almighty, they're down 15-1 after 4. Holy crap, they got run ruled with 15 minutes still on the clock. Blake only had 2 at-bats this game. So what is a run rule?
10 after 5,
Okay.
which happened more than a handful of times for us. That's probably in there.
In Game 2 in Week 14, oh my God. Blake with a legit Willie Mays play, sprinting into left field to catch a bloop fly ball, looking over his shoulder, sliding to make the catch. Sorry I don't have it on video.
I do.
Ooh.
How do you have it?
The team we're playing, pretty sure the Reds, videos the game, and I went back and I pulled it.
Rightfully so.
Is that SG?
That he pulled it or that they do it?
That they do it.
Oh, I see it a lot now. It's the younger kids. But I've seen it happen where, like, kid got mossed, and a guy on our team was like, "Can I get that?" And he's like, "What's your snap, dog?" So I guess.
He says there's always jersey instability out here, but there's a guy playing with the Expos this week who's wearing an Israel jersey.
No, what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
You've seen the Israel jersey before?
Yeah, because it's a Jewish league.
The Shalom softball league.
And so
okay.
one year, they try to spice up the All-Star game, and so they did Team Israel versus the world,
Team, Muhammad.
whatever. Yeah. He was a
Fighting
part of that
causes.
team and has been very proud of it ever since.
Huh. Okay.
No, I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, let's do a quick thanks to txtrident.com. That's our garage door company.
Indeed.
And then I'll finish this Blake gold. Let's see.
I know they were over at Julie's today taking care of her garage door.
Yeah, so if you got a new home or you're placing an old garage door or updating your home's look, they will handle the whole thing, of course. Trust Trident, txtrident.com, 817-512-1212. They are pretty much, they're kind of like some of our other advertisers. They're not a huge corporation, right? You're not going to be just a number. So customer service is really, really big with them. He just wants you to put your trust in Trident at txtrident.com. The owner, Jeremy, we've met him.
We have. He's a great dude, veteran-owned company, txtrident.com. Go check out the website. You can see the variety of services they can do for you, but it's mainly the garage door situation. It's a huge beating if it's messed up, so txtrident.com. Jeremy will take care of you.
We're in Week 15. Chris notes that Blake hustles on the base pass, too. He gets from first to third in a heartbeat, and then he says, I'd like to see a 40-yard race between Blake and Jake. Blake has wheels.
Yeah, no, I would say that for all of the time that Blake has been alive, he's been faster than I am. But we're approaching a possible Jake Lindsay Lohan when she was on crack thing. Although now he's not fat anymore. But there was a time where he was getting fatter, and I think it was getting closer.
In this particular game against the Dodgers, after 4 innings, the Cardinals are down 13-3. Chris writes, I feel really bad for Blake. Seriously. He's coaching third base and has both hands on his knees most of the time and is staring at the ground like he's holding back a vomit.
Don't love the body language for a leader, but
And apparently that is they got run ruled. That once we finish 5, you're still down 13-3, and
Yeah.
let's just end this.
The
thing.
message wasn't resonating anymore. I didn't know what else to do.
yep.
Yeah, that's week 15, bro.
Yeah. We're not fixing this.
So in week 16, Chris writes, I've just been told every team makes the playoffs, and there's some kind of round-robin thing, so I assume it means you lose twice before eliminated. I wonder if Blake will be praying to the underdog story or the quick death to end the season. In any case, this means I'll be back here next week. So this is 16 weeks in, and
Couldn't believe it.
He's committing to week 17. Also, what I didn't know about softball these days, because Chris writes, the heat blowing in off this turf is noticeable. And I'm like, turf?
It's awesome.
It's an artificial turf field
Yeah,
for
dude.
softball,
Yeah, no maintenance.
Yeah.
which is great.
No rain outs.
Is that actual dirt or is that turf too?
No, it's all turf. Everything is turf.
So the brown stuff is also just turf.
Yeah.
They just color it to look like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, it's awesome. We didn't have any rain outs. You could play in a light drizzle. No mud. No bad grass. It's perfect. And the batter's box doesn't have a giant hole in it where everyone digs their cleats in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really like part of the gameplay that much.
And no bad hops at short.
That's got to be the biggest thing. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
but
talking
that's fast though.
I can do fast. I can't have one hit me in my chin.
Okay.
yeah.
You know, I took like baseball coaching in college because that's one of my things I thought I might want to do. Mm-hmm. And it was taught by the, coach of the college team. And he, they thought they were kind of teaching us all you're probably going to be a high school coach at some point. And so his thing was when he was a high school coach, he didn't believe in base paths. So the whole infield was grass. They did a circle around home plate and a circle for the mound. But everything else was grass. And he said it was because you spend so much time on the maintenance of a field. Like that's what he's like half the time as a high school coach, he's like, it's not like you have a grounds crew, it's you.
You chalking the lines. You
And so
dragging the
that's why
dirt.
he's saying you should just have a full, and I guess, back then they weren't envisioning that high schools would be able to just afford artificial turf for everything, but now they do.
That's wild.
And that's a big reason why every high school football stadium will have turf. You play your JV game the night before. You're 7 on. Soccer. It doesn't matter. You're not going to tear it up.
Okay, so every team makes the playoffs, the heat on the turf. Now we've got a little opinions are seeping in. Chris, not everything on Blake's game is perfect. As he says, Blake with a long fly out to left. If he just tried to hit opposite field once in a while, he'd be unstoppable.
I don't.
No.
Never saw it. Never saw it once.
This is my run the ball of softball is I'm going to hit it as hard as I can, and that means I'm pulling it. I'm not going to do this gay little hook shot to right. That's not why I got out of bed. I got out of bed to hit the effing ball hard.
To make Steve Busby proud.
So if you
Not
you can put
slapping it around.
You can put all 8 fielders in left field. I would hit it to left field as hard as I can.
Later in this game, Blake with a hard line drive over second for a single. Holy shit. The next batter hits a bomb for a 2-run homer. Finally, someone else steps up.
Wow.
And we lost 19-2.
Well, you're building.
You ended up losing 18-10.
What's the vibe in the dugout? Like, are these? Because I don't know this scene. Like, I would quit. To be honest, I couldn't. I wouldn't join a team that was going to get the shit kicked out of them.
No,
for
as the
15
season
weeks.
went on, I got less and less excited to go. But it's
You still have fun?
for the most part, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the guys that I play with, and honestly, I wouldn't play if I wasn't playing with my dad.
Yeah.
So I try to enjoy those moments. Brooks went with us the last half-ish of the season, and it was cool just getting him around the game and around, how look, we hit, we go field, we sit down. I want him to observe all that. But as far as if I was just going to go out there and compete, no, I had a horrible time.
Yeah.
A horrible time. But I tried to soak in playing with my dad and playing with a good group of guys, but we were just atrocious.
And teaching Brooks where to poop.
Yeah,
Forgot about that.
yeah, you were there for that, weren't you?
I actually held him up and put him. No.
Wait, what happened? I don't remember.
When Brooks pooped in a urinal at
That's right.
That
That's
was a
right.
softball.
It was me the whole time.
So that
I
was the
pointing to
nicest-
urinal.
Nicest public restroom for a while.
Yeah,
pass
if you had
this
to
up.
do in a urinal, it might as well be that one.
Like, did he just sit on it?
I guess.
Where other people were just
That's what
other
I
people's
said that
pee
day.
is all over his butt.
Yeah, well, I said it would be funny to actually see him do it. Like if you're walking in the
Oh
restroom
my gosh,
and there's
yeah.
a kid there doing that.
Reading the paper.
But how he got up there, I don't know. But it was just squarely on the urinal cake, just this long deuce.
Jesus.
And I think it was Jimmy who said it. But yeah, the guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I think your kid took a shit in the urinal. Like there was any suspect there. Like no, yeah, it was my kid.
Or some other guy.
Yeah, not the 40-year-old.
in a Yankee uniform.
Yeah, in a full,
The 6'5" guy. It's either the 6'5" guy with a camera. Chris says, I just saw the most men's softball thing I've ever seen at this point. The Cardinals have a guy that's pretty muscled up. He hit a weak infield fly to first base, sort of flexed and hit the bat with his fist. I think you can picture the scene. I don't know. What do you mean by that? Just
I guess it's kind of hard to describe. He was just a big, muscled up dude, and
just pissed that he...
yeah, it was like it was the bat's fault, or like he was. It's hard to clearly I didn't describe it well enough, but yeah, it was something to see.
So they lost 18-10 to didn't have a lot of momentum to go into the playoffs, but we get to the playoffs on June 1st. Chris writes, 8 a.m. start this week. Our 8-18 Cards are pitted against the 8-18 Pirates.
We got a round of 68 type thing.
Overcast with rain looming. And he says, pretty sure you have to lose twice to be eliminated. So,
Take care of that pretty quickly.
We lost at 8 and 9 o'clock. Yeah.
then Chris writes a note about himself. Seriously, what kind of idiot would think up some dumb bit like this and actually follow through with it? You boys really need smarter listeners.
I love it.
So 8-18 versus 8-18. This sounds like an even match. Let's look at the notes. The Cardinals are visitors. Blake ends the regular season with a .649 batting average. He also led the team in RBI while batting first or second in the season, or all season. Says, serious-looking storm clouds coming in from the north. A rainout would be about right to mercifully end this season for our hero. And then he writes, next note is, holy shit, Cardinals are down 11-2 after 2 innings against the evenly matched Pirates. Temperatures have dropped quite a bit. Here's a picture from the field between innings. It just got so dark out here, they turned the field lights on at 8:45 in the morning. So this was how it all ended.
Yeah, the lightning meters were going off, and we just thought, let's keep going. Let's get this over with.
Got Israel on our side.
So, yeah, he sent some photos of that. In typical Blake fashion, let's see, the dude just puts his head down and keeps moving forward. He was the first one to his position in the field after he made the last out of the inning. All right?
That's just leadership right
Good
there.
Lord. Blake plays such deep shortstop, almost into the outfield. He just ranged over to his left, picked up a hard grounder on a dead run, and fires an absolute dart to first for an out. Savage.
Gold glove?
Maybe.
In Game 2, he says, Chris writes, this is the final game of the season, not to spoil it. But, what was that first game? They lost 11-7.
7. They throw it underhand. We scored 7.
Game 2, though, he says, we will play the hated Reds. I just know Blake is on to me at this point. I'm like a giraffe on the Serengeti out here. I stand out. I have a backstory prepared if he confronts me, but I'm hoping it doesn't happen.
Okay. What was it?
It's probably not a good backstory, but it was the only one that I could come up with. I work for the city of Allen. They just want me to come out here and just to be a presence. By the way, shout out to a young man named Mason out there who would let me duck in the little equipment room.
Yeah.
Because that one field over there, it would have been I would have been spotted too easily. And so every once in a while he would let me duck in there. And so he was in on the bit. So shout out Mason.
Amazing.
You know how many people I've told about this bit in the last 3 or 4 months? And they're like, I'm sorry, explain it again. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
What do you think it's like for me to tell someone why I'm getting up to go to a softball field in Allen to watch a guy who I don't know and record him so he doesn't see me? Yeah, I've gotten some looks.
Well, then even like, I wanted to have Chris to our Game Day Men's Health Studios, which is downtown Dallas, but we couldn't coordinate. We wanted to do this bit today, and he's like, yeah, I'll make the hour drive. He drove an hour to get here just for this.
This guy.
In this final game, rain is absolutely coming down as they start this game. Blake with a hard line drive to left to start off with a single. These maniacs are still playing. He's got photos of that as well. I think of the Doppler radar or something. You were just indicating it was just a terrible, terrible weather day, this final game. Game paused for now. They pulled everyone off the fields. They're down 5-2 after 3. They're down 8-6 after 4. He writes, if these assholes win this game and keep playing, like, you wanted to leave at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was wearing thin.
Don't blame you.
Yeah.
Writes about Blake, all he does is hit a double to left field. The Cards get some offense. They're up 9-8 after 5.5.
Yeah, they'll hold it.
Can they lock down the Reds to stave off elimination? Parentheses, stave is an anchor word.
Yep.
It really is.
It's on there.
So they're up 9-8 after 5.5 innings. He then writes how the Cardinals pitcher has walked 2 straight with 1 out. This is getting tense.
He walked to 8 and 9-hole hitters.
And then he says that's more like the Cards we've seen all year. They're now down 16-9.
Damn. It was right there.
And a quick 3 outs to end the game and the season. He says, I've done a little digging. I think amongst all the players that played at least 24 of the 26 games, Blake was top 5 in batting average.
That's in the league.
In the league.
Yeah.
Blake's final stats in 27 games, 77 at-bats, 50 hits, 8 of them were home runs, 40 RBI, 36 runs, a 649 average, and an 1836 ops. I projected this over 162 games.
Of course.
Where Blake had 479 at-bats. For context, in Major League Baseball, it was like 600-some at-bats led the major leagues last year. So this isn't an abnormal amount of at-bats. In those 479 at-bats, over 162 games, Blake would have had 311 hits, 49 home runs, 249 RBI, and 224 runs scored.
It's an all-star.
And I think what I want to do...
Are you going to come film the All-Star game?
Sure.
Is there an actual All-Star game?
Yeah, July something.
Wait, how come we didn't get the vote out?
They already voted.
Who voted?
The captains.
Oh, I thought maybe there was a fan vote
No, there's
element
a
that we could...
coach's poll or something.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. Do you want to ride?
Yeah. Yeah, we can ride here. Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Great job.
Dude,
Great
amazing.
job by Chris.
Phenomenal
Amazing.
bit. Yes,
Appreciate
very
that. Thank you.
pleased.
I respect the bit. I feel bad your time was wasted.
No, it wasn't wasted.
But-
no, I mean, look, you guys have given me so many years of entertainment. The least I can do is spend 60 hours to put together a simple little bit.
That's great. Respect to you.
Thanks, man.
It's great.
That is good stuff. Since I mentioned the Game Day Men's Health Studios, let's at least let you know a little bit about what Game Day Men's Health is. It is testosterone replacement therapy, right? Therapy, is that what the T, that extra T stands for?
I think it's kind of a you
Treatment?
get to choose.
Testosterone replacement. I know that's one.
But then the last T, it's choose your own
It's a
adventure.
question mark?
Yeah. That's what I did there. You did some vitamin therapy there. They have all sorts of options for men's health. They just want you to feel the best you can, physically, mentally, emotionally. And it's quick, too. I set aside about half an hour to go in there the other day. I was there for 2 minutes. You're in, you're out, that's it.
The initial appointment, they're going to take your blood, figure out your T levels, whether you even qualify, But they're there for you if you do.
And they're there for you all over the Metroplex. They've got tons of spots. Go to the website, which is right in front of me. Where is it, Dan?
I don't know.
Well, it's Game Day Men's Health. So check them out. Mention the Dumb Zone. You get 10% off. TRT for life. Game Day Men's Health.
Yeah. Want to do some other sports?
Sure.
What would you like to start with?
Let's start with some Cowboys. Of course, the news of the offseason, everyone's talking about the pay increase for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Is that one? Yeah. Okay.
Wait. They have a pay increase?
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Oh.
They do have a pay increase. It is a small story that I don't think anyone really cares about because, as you're going to see, I believe this is a raise from $15 to $70 an hour.
That's not what the headline said.
It is not, and that's what I want to talk about.
Oh, sorry.
So, of course, there was the America's Sweethearts Netflix show that, I don't know, was it directly lifted from Sarah Heppela's podcast, or was it just used as research? When they started that Netflix show, it seems like that was on the heels of Sarah's podcast, and they had the TV show on CMT for a long time, and I didn't know there was a new season, but there's a second season, and in the 7th episode last night, you have to pull me up here now, Blake, I don't know, there was a little conversation that made news.
I was not at uniform returns. I was home. I really didn't know if I was going to come back at that point. But with the new changes, I do plan on returning for a 5th season. On Tuesday, I heard from Kelly that she wanted to kind of reconvene, have another conversation about our pay.
Myself, Armani, and Megan, we got an email. They asked if they could meet with us. And they basically just, thanked us for everything that we told them and for being very open and honest.
Our efforts were heard, and they wanted to give us a raise. And we ended up getting a 400% increase, which is, life-changing.
Happy isn't even the right word for it.
Okay. So that's what is in the final episode of the 2nd season of the Netflix show. That gets aggregated to these headlines. That's how I found out about this, was a tweet. So there's a New York Times story about it, because that is the only thing that was said. We got a 400% payment increase. And we've heard for years, there was that lawsuit back in 2019 where a former cheerleader had sued saying, they're not paid enough. Everybody knows that they're deriving a lot of their quote-unquote compensation from exposure, that they don't get paid that much hourly. It was $15 an hour, and then there was some number for games that was not very high. So the only thing that really has been confirmed, the New York Times called a cheerleader who I believe is current, that they're going from $15 an hour to $75 an hour, which is a 400% increase, but I'm not sure it's life-changing unless you plan to work. You know what I mean? They're not working hourly enough to where that's not life-changing. And that's also not typically how you would say.
You didn't go from 20,000 to 200. Well, whatever, yeah.
It's a big percent, but there's no more details about it.
I guess that's what we'd have to know is how much do they make in a year off just cheerleading.
Yeah, and so the New York Times called this cheerleader. They're the only ones who has any original reporting on this. She said that she was making $15 an hour and $500 for each appearance. I don't know how that works. She said now she would be making more than $75 an hour. But I don't know how that works with, whatever. But I just thought it was an interesting media story that they're talking to this girl on a reality show, and she's like straightening her clothing with a steamer, and she's like, I got a 400% increase. And then there's just news stories about it, and nobody really knows. The Cowboys, for their part, declined to comment, would not confirm any details regarding the wages.
Yeah, that would indicate that it's not as great as
And
let's just leave it at the headline.
Yes, and I also I have not watched this show. I was interested in the first season, but as I was skipping through looking for this audio today, there's no way I can do it. I'm glad it's there. It's an interesting topic. I can't watch it. It's too aggravating for me. But they're highlighting heavily how much cool stuff they get to do by being on the show or by being on the staff on the team. And I searched it on Twitter, and that's like a common review. Is it after the first season when everybody was like, damn, they work really hard, they don't really get paid that much. That was the narrative. The second season is really a lot of showing like, but look at all this cool stuff they get to do because they're Cowboy cheerleaders. So you may have forgot this is a pretty sweet gig.
So this is like a Charlotte deal, right?
Yeah.
And she's probably got final say on how it actually comes out. Like Jerry is the executive producer of his Netflix documentary. So,
yeah,
it's
a message.
The stripper in Vegas, or the picture in Vegas with drunk Jerry, right? On that, you're going to get all the other stuff. So, you're right. That's a great analysis. They watched season 1. Everybody's complaining about what they get paid and how hard they work. Because Charlotte's mind was probably, hey, let's highlight how hard they work so they get some appreciation.
Yeah. And
then everybody's like, yeah, but why aren't you giving them that appreciation? Well, now let's highlight all the cool places that we do take them so now we can get some appreciation.
Yeah, and when this dancer athlete says, I got a 400% increase, just leave it at that.
Yeah, let's just
leave
put
it at
that in there.
Yeah, what's interesting is Blake got a bigger raise than Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
That's actually factually true by this.
Yeah.
This is pretty common to radio.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're making nothing, but you think to yourself, well, I get to go to training camp and have a cool
job. A lot of
job
jobs like that. So that was my Cowboys story for the day, Dan.
Elsewhere in sports, there's an interesting note. Do you see the Corey Perry note?
Yeah, and I didn't know that people, I guess whenever he was here, I didn't know that there was quite the level of hatred of him that people were gritting their teeth, biting down hard, and just smiling through it. I mean, I knew people didn't like him. I didn't know that it was that, because when he was here, he was not bad.
No, but before he was here,
yeah.
Yes, I remember that from my Stars post-game days. That's the hated Corey Perry dude.
Whereas,
it almost felt weird having him on your team. Like that kind of a guy.
Different than like Pavelski. Similar level of rival and guy on a team.
Yeah, but just he's an asshole.
Right.
Type guy. Like you don't want to play against him. I don't know.
What's a fun stat then?
But yeah, that he lost his 5th Stanley Cup final in the past 6 years. Now he has won the Stanley Cup. So you got to think, man, this guy's been in the cup. He's been in the finals 6 times. That's pretty incredible. But I guess he's been on Edmonton for 2 years. They've lost 2 years in a row. And he actually set the NHL record last year by being on a 4th different cup loser. 4 different teams.
Was he on the Dallas team?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the bubble team.
Yeah. So he was on Dallas. That was probably his first loss. Montreal in 2021. Tampa in 2022. Skipped a year. Didn't lose the Cup finals, and then 2 years in a row he's lost the Stanley Cup finals. The Lakers have announced a sale, or they've announced that they're close to it, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's official, but it's to one of their minority owners who already owns 20% of the team or something like that, and now they're the valuation that he is purchasing a majority of the team would have the team worth $10 billion right now. I think he's like paying an extra 4.8 now, or he paid 4.8 whatever it is. That's what all the buzz is, that the Lakers are worth $10 billion, which kind of makes you think that's where you start the conversation if you wanted to sell the Cowboys.
That's what I've always thought.
But
10.
I'm thinking it's going to be more, though.
Right, you start at 10. The Cowboys,
Yeah.
I think, could sell for $20 billion.
However, now I saw this put out there by like an ESPN reporter. And I also saw this when the Mavs were sold, put out there by reporters. But maybe they've followed this one a little closer because of the Mavs thing. It says here, guaranteed as part of the agreement that Jeannie Buss will remain in charge for the foreseeable future. Mark Walter is the guy that's buying it, has fully endorsed this plan. So she'll remain to run the team, like as far as the personnel and hiring and firing the GM and all that kind of stuff. But she's just getting a cash grab.
You know, it's funny. I think it's like being a Supreme Court case or something. The fact that the Luka trade happened and every single element of it was so effed up, and this specifically we're talking about Cuban's sale and the lack of clarity on what his level of autonomy was going to be, all the way to just trading Luka himself. This whole thing is just going to be used as a case study in sports business of how to not screw things up. So every single time somebody sells a team now, if they want to have some level of control over it, they're going to say, we probably need to talk about that. How's this actually going to work? And then there'll be new conversations about it. That's probably how the Celtics agreement, was made sure that they crossed the T's and dotted the I's. The Mavericks screwed up so bad, they just taught everyone else how to do business. Jeannie Buss is going to ask different questions because Mark Cuban experienced what he did.
Didn't Cuban, though, later kind of indicate actually the NBA nixed the language that we wanted in there?
Listen, he's had a lot to say about it. He had a lot to say about it at the time, and then some different things to say about it over time, but I remain absolutely convinced that if he wanted to ensure that he was going to remain in control of personnel, there's a mechanism by which he could have done that. So maybe they told him it can't be in this deal, okay? And then they said, well, you have to sign a contract. Well, if at that point he said, well, I don't want to do that, okay, well, then you're no longer in charge of the team. But they should tell you that, and if you make that decision, then that's it.
Because when they announced it, it was, I'm in charge of the team, and I will be. And we were all like, oh, okay, cool. Who
right.
cares?
So now every time, when Jeannie Buss or whoever says that, the anonymous source who gave comment to The Athletic just straight up said, this cannot be Mark Cuban. She will continue to run the team for a significant number of years.
Oh, wow, they even said that.
Yeah.
Well, something else that made me think that Cuban did have that was the fact that those in the know said, because like I said, this guy who just bought the Lakers, he gave like $4.8 billion, but that means whatever percent he bought, the value of the Lakers is $10 billion. Whereas when Cuban sold whatever percent, they said the value that he sold, like the valuation was extremely below market value. Do you recall that? Like this?
Yeah.
This is, they like the market value he sold it at was like $2 billion or something. It was just below market what many were saying the Mavs should be able to get.
There's a couple
especially
different
with a
theories.
superstar like Luka.
Yeah, there's a couple different theories on that. One is that it was part of him, like it was a bargaining chip for him to stay on.
That's what I'm saying.
But also
that if I get to remain in charge, that's why I'm charging you less.
But also they didn't really have a market because he was only selling it to them, which is naturally going to deflate your price.
I don't know that the Lakers opened up the bidding.
I don't know. All I know is the Mavericks didn't. Usually there's some level of we got multiple people trying to get in on this. But the Mavericks didn't have that at all.
No, but I don't. Again, was there any?
I don't know.
We don't know behind the scenes what was going on with the Lakers, but this guy already was.
No,
had a little
but listen,
piece.
what I'm saying is, out of all these sales that are happening, Commanders, Celtics, the Broncos, the Mavericks seem suspiciously low. So, as you're saying, I think it's two things. One, they didn't really have a market, and we're speculating, but you think that Cuban might want to stay on board. But in all those other cases, almost all of them, somebody's still staying on board, and they still got a ton of money. I think he just lost the deal, folks.
Which is really weird. He's like our business leader, I mean, he teaches about valuation on Shark Tank. He's like, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. That seems weird.
You know what? That's actually the essence of his business advice.
Make sure you do this. Make
sure you do that.
Shedeur Sanders, I got this email from mom.com.
Don't you have a once-a-week newsletter about an 18-minute
that you keep unsubscribing to, but it still sends you
scroll
emails?
down to the weather? Oh, shit. There's something I forgot to tell you guys about. Please let me do this right now because I will forget it.
Sure.
In your Gmail, did you know that there is now a Manage Subscriptions tab?
Wow.
What does
Look at
that mean?
It means if you just go over here, I'll put it, I don't think it's, if you go over here to Manage Subscriptions, you can unsubscribe from everything that you're subscribed to.
Incredible.
All the spam type stuff?
Yeah. You know the 300 emails you get a day where you're like, all right, you know what, I'm going to take 5 minutes and try to unsub. And then you click it pops you to another
did that
page,
every day.
and your email, and you're like, I'll never, ever be able to keep up with this. I got it down to the 10 I want.
I had to mute keywords.
That's sometimes a thing, too.
Muted Trump, muted Elon, muted Musk.
In your email.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it was nonstop every day.
But if you have Gmail, this is a game changer, much like Zookeeper.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm
Well-
sure Hotmail has it.
The I was going to
No
say
chance.
the ball is in your court now, Hotmail. Let's see what you can do.
So Shedeur.
Yeah, so my mom actually texted me two things last night, and it was right around the time when her local news must have been on. So she will keep me informed. She lives in Cleveland, of course. That's where I'm from. And she's still there. One text number one, a crew member at the baseball stadium got caught under the tarp when they were covering the field.
Oh no.
He got himself out.
Good.
So
It's
I was worried at first.
very Wise County News. Or,
And then we got out. Yeah, it's just very matter of
He got
fact. Like
out.
she just had to tell me about that because she thought, you know who likes baseball?
Sure.
Little Danny. And then she writes, Sanders' son stopped for speeding 101 miles per hour in Strongsville. Girl following him stopped, in parentheses, 92 miles per hour. And that's the whole text.
Okay. You've got a news
Okay,
story now.
Now I need to go look this up. And the only other outlet that had the detail that she had seemed to be TMZ. So I don't know if my mom is just on TMZ. Maybe she's on TMZ Sports. But she does know that I'm interested in Shedeur Sanders news. And it turns out TMZ also had some audio. And the longer I don't live in Ohio, the more I hear Ohio accents.
Dude, when you were playing this through your speakers earlier, it was jarring for me.
Because now I'll talk to good friends of mine on the phone. I talked to someone the other day, and I'm like, gosh, I can't believe how she sounds.
Yeah.
Whereas did I sound like that? Do I sound like that now? I don't know, but the emphasis on certain words. Anyway, here is... So the police officer, they've pulled over Shedeur. They've talked to him, and he's back, I think, in his squad car, kind of running the license, talking to his partner.
Yeah, I'm sure be good.
Okay.
Deion Sanders' kid.
Oh, that's Shedeur?
Yeah. 101.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It's like
al-
101.
That's already so Midwest.
They couldn't believe it.
Oh, jeez.
101.
Is his dad driving in front of him?
No, it's his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Is his dad driving in front of him? So there was another car, I guess, and that's where my mom has indicated girl following him or whatever.
Is his first name really Dion?
It's Shador Deion Sanders. It's his middle name's Deion. Hey, it's a really nice truck. It's one of those supercharged Rams. So
Like when he says Rams, that sounds.
Yeah.
Rams. So
It's a supercharged Ram.
yeah, he's been real cool. Other than he didn't think he was. I'm like, you were 100% going that fast.
Yeah.
It's all on camera, man. He flying past everybody.
God bless Ohio.
This is like at midnight or 1 a.m.
This is his younger one, not the one that got drafted, right?
No, this is the one I got drafted.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
What?
You're in Cleveland, yeah.
How do they not know?
Why would not the guy on the Browns be here?
I think that there was still some confusion because Shador's name is Shador Dion, but there's also Dion Jr., and I don't think either one of those guys were on the same page there. How do you not know Shador's
Both Dion's
name?
kids have Dion in their name.
It was news to me to learn that Shador's middle name is Dion.
I didn't know that
But
either.
there's definitely Dion Jr.
Right.
Okay, now this is a mix, I think, or maybe this is all just. Oh, this is the cop talking to Shador then.
What's Shiloh's middle name?
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna cut you a break. I'm not gonna give her a ticket. Like I said, I got her at 92, but 101. I got a dash cam and stuff, man. Like.
I don't remember, but I'll take your word.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. It is going to be waiverable. Okay. Your state where you're at has an agreement with Ohio that if you don't take care of the ticket, they will suspend your Mississippi license. Okay. So there's a phone number and all that on the back. If you just want to sign here by the X, it's just stating that you're going to take care of the citation. If you don't, they can suspend your license. Okay. Yeah. Just pay it or call it. Call the number on the back. Your license is under there too, so you don't drop it. Turn to the side in the front, and then right there next where it says member of RNVC, there's an X there if you want to sign it there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, so what's going to come up here? And TMZ didn't really know what this was either. It's Shador pulls out some kind of a card and gives it to him. So I don't know, like, hey, I know the police chief, and here's his card, or something. It's something like that.
Lawyer, maybe?
Well, no. Based on what the officer is going to say here, it sounds like he
off
thinks
TRT
this,
for life card.
This is a get out of jail free card or something. But listen to what he says.
How fast do you think you're going if you don't think you're at 101? Because I know this truck supercharged, it will do it.
Boy, he's fired up about this goddamn
Yeah, is this
truck.
one of those new supercharged
Like
Rams?
he loves the Dodge Ram.
The only spoiler is he's not saying souped up. Like he's actually saying supercharged.
Oh, he gave it to me a little late. Who's it from?
Okay, so he handed him like a card.
Oh, he gave it to me a little late. Who's it from?
Is that from Boykin?
Can't read it. I don't know who that is. You already wrote it, man. You got to give that to me before. I'm going to give your girl a break, okay?
So he's like, you got to give that to me before I write the ticket.
Huh.
But I'm giving your girl a break. Like, they did not ticket her. She was going 92. Probably after she saw, she slowed down after saw him getting, I don't know.
I know that's a small throwaway detail, but I'd actually really like to know.
The card?
Yeah, I mean, because you know that, especially around Dallas, we know that sort of stuff exists. Your baller stuff, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like a courtesy card. Some police officers have them, like your higher ups, and they can call and do a, check on you. Like, hey, is this guy legit or whatever? I'm learning this from
chat.
No, from watching police cop shows growing up. Blue Bloods.
So you could give that to somebody and say, hey, if you ever get pulled over?
I think so, yeah. I know my uncle drives around with all of my cousins' like state trooper cards, business cards, and is
smart.
It's more than likely a PBA card.
PBA, that's I think what TMZ wrote. What does that mean?
Police Brothers.
Benevolent Association. I don't know. Yeah.
It does make me think, though, of, because people ran to write the opinion columns of he's entitled and he thinks he could just show up. They can cut him, which is true. But we quickly forget that, like, the quarterback of America's team, who is the most leadership, buttoned-up guy you can imagine, got a DUI a month before the draft after he graduated college.
This is speeding.
I know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Come on, yeah. I haven't seen anything like
what
Dak you're saying.
Dak is the most put together franchise quarterback you could ever possibly imagine. And 1 month before the draft, where he was no sure thing, he was popped for drinking and driving late at night. There was the fight that one summer that he was in, which happens, but I don't know. I think Shedeur Sanders' problems are that he's a little short. Not that he drove really fast.
Shedeur's middle name is Dion. Shedeur Dion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Shiloh's middle name is Shiloh Dion Sanders.
Okay. And what about Dion Jr.?
It's just Dion something else.
Oh.
But isn't it weird that Dion gave his name to both of his kids?
Well, yeah,
all three.
All three, but in different ways, yeah.
But they have the same middle name. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Okay.
Blake, Jesus, stop yelling at me. I don't know what you are. I've never known brothers who have the same middle name.
You sat there like a fish.
That's crazy.
I thought you'd at least give me an eyebrow raise or something.
Here, let me hop on and make an AI song for it.
All right, let's take a break.
Blake.
Hey, Claire, you remember that one time the Frankels got me that huge car accident settlement?
Oh, Cornelius Falcon, how could I forget?
Yeah, that was super dope.
Was that a fart?
Please stop talking.
Frankel and Frankel.
Is somebody in there? Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sir!
I don't know if I'm okay.
Can you get out for me?
I'm hurting. Let me get my phone. I gotta call somebody.
All right. Yeah, we're calling
Before you call the insurance company, call Frankel first. Frankel and Frankel. Call 214 or 817 all threes.
The Dumb Zone. This is my Father's Day present from my granddaughter, Gwendolyn. It indicates I'm the big cheese. On Mondays, just wondering with Norm Hitzkes, what are the Rangers thinking as the time for trades approaches in mid-season of the baseball season? Be with us on Just Wondering Monday.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
I like to promote other local podcasts.
Yeah. Where we go one, we go all. That's what I always say, Clayton. You guys didn't ask me about my big night last night.
Go on.
I left and told you guys I had
no wife, no kids.
No wife, no kids. It's pretty sweet, man. First thing I did, you can find me whipping them things out at the Apple Genius Bar down there where I post up, sit for 90 minutes. And then
you have Tiny Computer again?
Yeah, and then they're like, you need to leave your computer here. And I'm like, I knew that 89 minutes ago, and so did you. So did you.
How long till you get it back?
I think 3 days.
Just get a new one.
I bought it 2.5 years ago.
I know, you should get a new one.
But the way you are on it.
This is under warranty. But from there,
it's beating, though, to have to be without your computer for like a day even.
Listen, man, we're making it work. I'm not going to spend another $3,000 because this computer is a problem for me every now and then. I'm just going to bitch about it.
Let me teach you how to wrap a cable.
Then I went and got. It's not the goddamn cable. That's so unfair.
You just chunk your shit in your bag. It's no wonder it doesn't work.
I don't like the way you wrap your cable either. It's a mess.
Our stuff works. We take care of it. You just throw your stuff in your bag.
This is both fair and unfair. Okay? I would like to learn about the proper way to roll the cables. And you know that because I told you that before today's episode. So for you to now bring that up in an attack of me.
Oh, yeah. I'm the first person to do that.
Well, I'm just saying that's a little bit out of bounds. The computer is not effed up because I wrap my cords up bad.
No, but that's indicative of your treatment of it.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
And then while that's fair, my treatment of it can't result in me just being like, yeah, $3,000 a year. We'll just buy a new computer every 14
Yeah, but that's
months.
the life cycle of a computer that you own is every 2 or 3 years.
Well,
you need to get a new one.
That can't be the
then
case.
Then treat your stuff better. Let me show you how to wrap a cable. Your life will improve.
Such a pain in my ass, man. Anyways, then I went and got a haircut, Dan.
I do know that because you indicated that to me.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Fantastic.
I love a nice Wednesday haircut, especially.
Dan and I have a little thing running.
Yeah, we got the same haircut place. But we won't be seen there at the same time.
Does your wife know about this?
That would be weird.
Yeah.
That we go to the same place?
We have a lady we like and then a lady we really like.
Oh, you just like her because Dan does.
It's been brought up.
She's just the best.
All right.
That all reminds me
What
of...
reminds you of what, Dan? Could I guess?
Well, I'm hoping that you would guess the thing I have up on my screen in front of me, which is onedaytexas.com/promo30. That is the website to get a buy one door, get an extra one free. You know,
Right.
I've always hated when people say BOGO because you should buy one and get one, but
It's
they actually
that,
will give
or
you two.
Think of it this way: you could be thinking
BOTO.
You're really buying two, but
It's
both.
Bogut.
It's Andrew Bogut. It's the One Day Doors Bogut deal. He's gonna love this spot. Listen, it's really more. You're buying two doors, both at half price.
Ooh, 50% off doors.
Twice.
Only if you go to onedaytexas.com/promo30.
It is a super cool idea. If you're doing remodels, this is who you want to call. One Day Doors. They do your closets. They have the ability to do the 3D measurements right there on site, cut them right out front. They look great. We've seen some of the mock-ups of these, and it just looks really cool. It's a nice upgrade makeover for your house at onedaytexas.com/promo30.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hotmail. Hey,
Ah, yes. We have some viewer mail for you. I start with someone who signed anonymous. He says, please keep me anonymous. Or could be a her, I suppose. I have a weird situation I'd love for the three of you all to debate. I've been married to my wife for 19 years now. Love her to death. We're 42. She's beautiful and still makes me horny.
Okay, bud. Awesome.
She's been converting some old videos to digital. The other day she showed me a video of her when she was in high school. She was 16 years old playing in the drumline. I saw the video and she was maybe like 20 pounds skinnier and totally hot. Can I say she's hot? My question is it wrong to think your wife was smoking hot in high school even though you all met? You met when you were in your 20s. When you were 20 and you got married at 23. I kept watching the video over and over, and I was thinking how hot she is.
Okay, we're getting
Can
there.
I say that? Is this wrong? Am I a pervert? Please debate.
Man, that's a great question. He's got a lot on his side, like the fact that he knew her when she was 20. You know, that they got together so quickly. Like, if he was watching this now and this was like his second wife that he met when she was 45, and he's like, God, you were hot when you were in 8th grade summer.
Because you wouldn't be looking at anything you actually remember.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Like, 20 to 16, he kind of knows.
So is it okay to look at a video of your high school girlfriend now, even if you haven't seen her since then? And if you're watching her and you're thinking, oh, yeah.
Man, I think you should feel weird.
Yeah.
Not saying don't do it, but if you're, like, right now just staring at your high school girlfriend when she was in high school, it's problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Problematic.
Rick says, Dear Führer the Furburger, this is the title subject line of the email, closer to 2050 than the year 2000. Do you remember this debate? Wasn't really a debate. But he says, I've done the math on this.
You and 100 others.
We got our quants on the case.
With leap years and all, it will be July 3rd, 2025, when the Rubicon is crossed and we will officially become closer to the year 2050 than the year 2000. It will, then he says, at 8,950 days into the thing. If you want to get super specific, it would actually occur at 1 second after noon on July 2nd. That'll presumably be a business Wednesday. You would have no way to mark the exact second unless you can get someone to sponsor the episode and do it live. Consider this a challenge. Your faithful servant, from Rick.
Okay.
We're actually going to be not... Isn't that like one of our 2 weeks off this year? We're going to take that week off. We will have something out there for you. But it will not be live shows that week. So maybe we'll schedule something to go out right at noon on that day. I don't know. Something
go
crazy.
Live. From a hot air balloon.
Something crazy like that. Oh, Scott's drinking a tall boy.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. No, that's not even a tall. That's the tallest of boys right
Lone
there.
Star tall boy.
That's the Travis Gafford of tall boys.
That's right.
I brought my own Lone Star tall boys because I've only got the normal height Lone Star. What do you call him? Not a tall boy.
I don't know. I
don't think you're allowed to say that anymore.
Huh?
I got one from Roger. Roger's a frequent emailer. I don't know his exact situation. I know we discussed it before, but Roger's bedridden. Like, I don't know the exact nature of Roger's ailments, but he's bedridden.
Okay, it's not just because his wife
chilling.
works and
No, I don't think it's because he's.
Because I think someone in my house might be bedridden.
It's not that. This is injury bedridden, not
We're just having fun.
sweatpant bedridden. And he's got like his email here is interesting because I'll give you the rundown. He has to get a rub down for a bath, and when he's on that when he's starting that service, they ask you male or female, right? So he said female because he's always said female. Massage, chiropractor. He's like, I'm just a dude who's very afraid of getting a boner with a dude rubbing me down, and it's just weird, and I don't want to do it. So he's like, every weekday I get a bed bath, but one day this week I got a substitute aid, and it was about a 45-year-old black lady who was huge. And so this lady wakes him up. He's never met her, and he's in his head thinking this used to be a man. He said that she sounded like Michael Clark Duncan, that she had man hands, and that she was, rubbing him down. And I get the sense this guy might have a lot of time to himself, obviously, right? And he's like, oh, I made the joke to myself of it seems like Marilyn's name probably used to be Melvin. And he said, then I asked myself, am I a transphobe for thinking that's a dude? Am I even allowed to ask? But this is the part I thought was interesting. He said, if I was asked if a trans woman would be okay, I would decline. I mean, isn't there a reason they ask you for your preference in the first place? So that's the part I think is interesting on this. If a place said to you, do you want a male or a female, you're not a bad guy or like a hornball either way. If you say, I want female, people are like, oh, that's cool, you're comfortable with female. You want male, you're comfortable. But if they were like, trans male, and you were like, absolutely not.
Then all of a sudden you're you're anti-trans.
Yeah, it's interesting. But to his point, he's like, they asked me about all this other stuff, but not that. And it's weird to think about a guy who probably has to navigate a lot of these sort of things without having a whole lot of control over it.
Yeah, they wouldn't call you homophobe if you didn't want a man.
No, but if they were like, hey, you want a gay dude? And you're like, yuck. Or even if you just said politely no, that would come with context.
Would he feel more comfortable getting a boner in front of a gay dude? Because, like, hey, that was the gay dude. He's used to that.
He was coaxing it out of you with his spells.
With his gay.
His black magic. Rise.
I
Shout
got
out to
a
Roger.
subject line mustache talk.
Boy.
This is nice with Scott here.
Is this from mustache email that you were teasing yesterday?
I got a whole folder.
Yeah, I do too. I'm just going to give you one. Jack from Fitness Pact. He's the guy that started that app.
Yeah.
Good dude. He says, this isn't ad-related. It's bigger than that. As a mustache owner and operator, I feel I can speak on this. I believe that almost every mustache starts as a joke. Whether it's because you lost a bet or did it for Movember or just to get a laugh. For me, I was in quarantine for weeks during COVID prior to going to a rig, oil rig he's referring to. He works on an oil rig, and I wasn't shaving, so I thought, F it. I leave a mustache, I go to the rig, and everyone will get a laugh. It sort of does that initially, but then someone says, oh, you have a mustache. Looks good on you. And that's where society falls apart. Because what is one to say to someone with a mustache? It's so bold you can't ignore it. Something has to be said. So most people, even those that are not inclined to be so plying, will say, oh, you have a mustache. It looks good. And then so they're addicting. In summary, you might as well hold a moment of silence for Blake's upper lip because it's not coming back.
He might be onto something. They all start as a joke.
How about you, Scott? Maybe you just haven't had a mustache.
I normally wear a full beard, and whenever every once or a few years, shaved it off, I'll do it in stages to see what the different possibilities look like. Never felt like I should pause at the full mustache, but since Blake's doing it, I thought it'd be fun for this
Okay,
week.
so it was a joke.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But there's a possibility. Jack's saying possibly in a month you'll
My
you'll
wife
still
feels
have a
very
mustache.
differently than Jack about this.
Oh.
Well, I'm just
She wants
saying,
the whole beard back.
when he walked in, he was commanding respect with that mustache.
Yeah.
That's why I say he looks like a news director who just did a little coke.
No, I
He's
put
like-
away the gummies.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, let's see here. This could be a gummy thought. Let's do, since I mentioned gummies, Early Bird CBD. Don't they got a deal right now? Like, kind of anticipating there could be storm clouds on the horizon. Maybe you want to get some of that Early Bird CBD now.
Well, I know one thing they do have is a new promo code at earlybirdcbd.com, and it's DZ20. That'll get you 20% off at earlybirdcbd.com. We used to have another promo code, so if you use that one, you got a new one, DZ20. And yeah, just stock up. They've got THC in them. Real THC. That's why they work, but that's also why you need to stock up with on those bad boys now. And if you have to take a drug test for your line of work, they're not for you. But if you want to put yourself in a nice little mood, mild buzz, you can do that at earlybirdcbd.com. Promo code is DZ20. These are good people. It's a Texas company. Go to them for your THC needs, Dan. And gummy thoughts.
Hey, Dan, I was looking up the National Sex Offender Registry for work reasons. And I noticed that the federal website for looking up sex offenders is called the Drew Sojan National Sex Offender Public Website, which made me curious. The site explained further that Drew Sojan was a young woman who is the rape and murder victim of a previously convicted sex offender who had just been released prior to Drew's murder in 2004. So to honor Drew's memory, they passed a law to create the website and named the website the Drew Sojan National Sex Offender Public Website. The question: would you want your murdered daughter's name, quote, honored by having a National Sex Offender Public Website named after her? I don't know. This seemed like something I need a dumb zone ruling on. I see the intent, but I'm not sure the result was what they wanted. Never punt from LBB.
It's a great question. It's a great question.
If your daughter was raped and murdered, would you want every time somebody else is looking up somebody that rapes and murders that they see your daughter's name?
Well, the best example I can think of is like the Amber Alert, right? Which has saved countless people's lives and also wasted a lot of time of me getting up and looking out of the blinds for someone in Victoria, Texas. But do you think they're happy with that, the Hagermans?
Yeah.
So that one you probably do feel like, okay, that's worth it. Because, I mean, they're getting... Do you think...
But you also...
Hold on. Do you think Amber Hagerman's parents have the Amber Alert thing taken off on their phone?
Yeah. Because most people do.
Interesting.
But they certainly would have it blocked if they weren't feeling it, right? But they never would have approved it, I would imagine, if they weren't into it. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is it depends on what it's making you think of. Do they think, oh, we're saving someone every time they think of Amber Alert, or do they think of, their mutilated child? I don't know. But I'd never heard of that website before now. My line of work doesn't require me to look up the sex registry. So it's not like it's a household thing. What do you think?
I think it's a good gummy thought, but I don't know that I have a ruling on it. Would you want something named, after your daughter, and every time somebody's looking up a heinous crime or something, they see your daughter's name? Like the Amber Alert is kind of, it's about alerts. It's about telling, I don't know.
You're trying to help people.
The registry is to help people.
Yeah, but
what do you? Yeah, the registry is to help people. What do you guys think it is? Like Pro Football Reference, where they just put their stats up there?
Well, you can see their
Why else would it
location
exist?
2 murders, traded midseason.
This week's top leaders. We've got.
But when you get the Amber Alert, you're going to help
9-year-old
somebody. If you're trying to go to the offenders
which
list,
is on
you're trying to find
100-point
someone
scale.
that's bad.
You guys are idiots.
No.
I get what you're saying. The Amber Alert is you've still got hope about
Right.
the outcome.
Yeah.
This list is.
How about
past
this guy who
outcomes.
says,
There you
hey,
go,
what are
thank
your
you.
opinions on it? Oh, that's your opinion? It's fucking horrible.
No, not horrible. It's fun.
All right. Well, that is some viewer mail for you today. We could do the news.
Here's
Whoa.
Jay with the
Feels loud.
Zone News.
And it could be brought to us by... How about let's give a little love to Frankel and Frankel, one of our early sponsors for sure.
Good dudes.
Personal injury attorneys. In fact, they are good dudes. We've had some lunch, done some luncheon. Anyway, if you call Frankel and Frankel, you will not just be on the phone with some spare. You won't just talk to intern Henry. Sorry, Henry. But the fact is you're going to talk to a partner. And they are going to help you get what you deserve. If you've suffered a personal injury, especially if it's like an auto accident, that seems to be a specialty of theirs. They will fight those insurance companies for you. So remember their number is at either 214 or 817, and then all threes, 333-3333. It is Frankel and Frankel, personal injury attorneys.
Well, he's going to see y'all down the road. As former Fort Worth radio host Justin Frazell has violated the terms of his probation and will be going to prison for 6 years.
What did he what was the original thing and what was the violation?
In 2022, Frazell, who
I used to see every day at work.
He was a traffic... what was he doing when you saw him?
I think he worked for Cliff, so I would see him down in the cafe, not the Cumulus Cafe. What was the old one called? At
Maple Deli.
The Maple Deli. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would see him down there, or like getting to work about the same time, or he was leaving. I think he would be done with his traffic shift, and I would be getting there. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was the guy in the helicopter growing up.
Yeah.
He was the traffic guy and hell, he probably wasn't even in a helicopter. But
right. He was doing this.
Yeah.
Hey, we're up here.
And he'd sign off with, we'll see you down the road.
800,000 feet. I don't know.
Yeah.
How high? 4 meters.
Both about, yeah. In 2022, he pled guilty to a crime that occurred back New Year's Eve 2020. It's a sexual assault of a 17-year-old girl that was at a party at his home, I believe. So, from our series of, that doesn't seem like the right sentence. He got 7 years of deferred adjudication. So, probation, no guns, no drugs, alcohol testing.
You feel like that's light?
No jail time? But I will say...
I guess it depends what sexual assault. Was it grabbing a boob? Because that could be called sexual assault, couldn't it?
I feel like if I recall correctly, it was more than that, and that there was alcohol involved, and that maybe he had provided that alcohol. But regarding the sentence, I will say the parents and the victim signed off on it.
Okay.
So that is kind of the one thing you always And should that matter? I don't know. Probably not. That's probably like letting baseball seasons be decided in 7-game series. Like,
That's what they say.
Does it really matter? Like, this victim's family is the one where we're like, are you cool with it? You're rational right now.
Right. Well, what if they weren't? Do we have to?
Yeah. Okay.
Now
That's what I'm
give
saying.
the death penalty if they say that.
But so he got 7 years deferred adjudication, and again, the girl was 17, but this ain't like, oh, he was 25, she was 17. He was in his 40s or late 40s, and he's 51 now. So I'm thinking if I got away with that, I'm like, I got to keep it clean. How did I, famous person on the radio who everyone now knows diddled a 17-year-old, make it through this? I should probably do everything they tell me to do, including the treatment that they've required me to undergo, and he just didn't do it. And now he's going to jail.
That's like the
real
easiest
jail,
part of it.
Prison for 6 years.
Yeah, man.
His most recent gig was as a host on The Ranch at downtown Fort Worth station.
Yeah, man.
You get
Just
out.
go to your thing. Go to the treatment. You would think the harder thing would be staying off the drugs and alcohol or whatever, or at least for some of us.
Yeah, and this is, and for him it's weird. It was sex offender treatment that he skipped.
What does that mean? It's not like they're putting electrodes on your balls or something, right? They're just they're talking to you and stuff.
Yeah, what you just described does happen, but I don't think that's what was happening here. This is just show up to the meetings. And that's a thing too. Obviously I haven't been to any sex offender treatment, but when you go to treatment or when you go to outpatient or for sure when you go to AA, that's why it's important to find a good group, like people that are just there to sign a sheet, or get their sheet signed, And he couldn't even do that for Don't Be a Pedophile Anonymous. That can't be that hard of a class to sit through.
Yeah, man,
Now you're going to jail.
that fear of prison, man. Like real prison.
Yeah. And my guess is you're not viewed as a pedophile if you're 45 and they're 17 in prison. But is everybody going to check for sure?
Yeah, you want
to ask
take
like,
that
hey,
risk?
what was your pedo scene?
Is he on the
Drew
Sanjin website? Probably is.
Had he registered himself, we wouldn't be having to talk about this.
see his war.
This is an interesting turn in the crackdown on the illegal sale of THC.
I was wondering,
quote unquote.
could we take Blake's stats?
Yeah,
and
we talked about
determine
it.
War.
I looked. So the thing is, you have to have like a defensive component, and there's a bunch of other stuff that I was basically just going to enter.
From what I understand, it's great.
I know, but I was just going to kind of enter like null or like zeros to produce one, but it would have been a lot of work. It was an incredible offensive season that we will all remember forever. That's what you need to know.
Way to go, Blake.
Didn't amount to much.
It's a team game.
We just talked to you about our friends at Early Bird. Whatever's going on with the laws and the news, Governor Abbott could still veto the bill in front of him. What's happening now is like what happened in the case of Allen and their police department. The police departments, I feel like, are doing bigger and heavier crackdowns and raids to try to convince the governor that this is a bigger problem than it is. And the spokesperson for the police department in Allen straight up said that. Like, they know that this thing is in limbo right now. And they can probably bust some warehouse full of quote-unquote legal THC that's being sold illegally any day if they want to. And then they can send that to the governor and be like, see, this is why you have to sign it. Because it was a huge bust in Allen.
What did this guy say that indicated that? Like he said, we're doing this
Yeah.
because we want Abbott to see it?
He said, I've spoken to mothers of children who will never have the same quality of life because these THC products are devastating at a young age. Speaking of the governor,
That sounds
we
vague,
are
and let's see
hopeful
that.
once he looks at the data, he will come to the same conclusions. There's no way to regulate this. It would be impossible. We do not have the manpower. So he's saying there's no way you can regulate this industry it will ruin all children's lives from the day that they first see a vape shop or store, and no regulations would ever be doable.
Well,
and it's probably going to pass, unfortunately.
Probably, but it's not going to be based on this guy's pleas or this bust. It's going to be based on what's the most economical for Abbott. Right?
No, not necessarily.
Really?
Well, it depends. I mean, there's like the political economy. If you mean economy, like what would just make the most money for the state, then I don't think this is that. But he has political capital to protect. Like, he can't just...
What keeps his donations coming in?
Right, I thought you meant the state.
I meant his economy, yes.
The him economy will be trucking along quite nicely by not pissing off everyone who has made his career happen, like for all of them. I thought you meant the state.
Right.
Like Oklahoma engaged with THC.
No, I think they could
'cause
make
they're
more
pories.
money with gambling.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that'll pass
unless
the people that want it passed, Like they always say, the Adelsons have so much money and they could kind of money whip them. But so that's where I think that it could happen. But you got to contribute heavily, right?
Yeah.
Or lobbyist.
Lobbyists. Man, I just
say these words and then I figure out.
I know, but that's how we all are. I saw some video this morning of, it might even have been fake, but it was like somebody in a store, and a bottle of, or a thing of Similac formula was like $52. It was some mom, and she was like going on doing what moms do on the internet, talking about how like the companies that make that stuff lobby against paid work leave for moms. So... and then charge $50 for formula. This is a fun story. A truck driver was headed from Nintendo of America in Redmond, Washington to GameStop headquarters, which is where, Blake? Grapevine. Right down the street.
Okay.
I thought you were at one point.
Yeah. Now that you say it, yeah, I did drive by it a lot.
I'm pretty sure when my brother was living here, he went to like a shareholders meeting at the GameStop headquarters.
So invested.
During the height of the Hold Your GameStop and not Macy's, what was the movie?
AMC. I'm sorry, Dan.
So anyways, truck driver headed from the GameStop up in Washington State to Grapevine carrying Nintendo Switch 2s.
Those are hot on the street right now.
Well, these ended up on the street because in a scene straight out of like, Fast and Furious, they got jacked.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like just on the road, guy got pulled, got surrounded, pulled over, and there's photos posted.
Cool.
To play Mario Kart.
To sell Mario Kart.
Yeah.
They didn't just steal one of them.
It's nice to know that's still going on, though.
I know, but it's amazing it has that much value that you would rip a truck with those in them. But no, I mean, I saw the videos. People were lined up outside of Best Buy 2 days beforehand to get one.
That's not you anymore?
I wouldn't do it for a Switch.
Well, that means you'd still... the question is, would you do it for anything in the video game
I did it for my
space?
Xbox 360.
What's coming down the pipeline? What do we have next?
They're in a bad spot. It's just all PC now.
360 was a ways back, though. Did you do it for the Series X?
No.
Okay.
Do you have one?
Past it.
Series X?
Yeah. Okay.
I'd used my Best Buy rewards card for years. 5, 8, 10 years. Just stacking everything.
Of course you did.
And I was able to use all of my reward dollars for like a decade, and I got my Series X for free.
Wow.
So this run the ball thing doesn't happen overnight. There are signs along the way.
It looks like they're staying in the heavy personnel package here on 3rd and 8. We'll see how they
little
plan to
little 7-man
this
protection
down.
doesn't hurt anybody. A little extra time.
Man, you're the best. Been trying to follow the Diddy trial just every day. What's going on in Diddy trial to let you guys know when there is a little something. And today there's not really much of anything other than it is a reminder when you follow a trial like this what a mess our justice system is. Just the process by which we select jurors and then they can be kicked out. Or if a juror gets sick. I mean, just this is a gummy thought for you. Stay with me on this one. So you've got jurors, right? You've got 9 jurors, you've got 12 jurors. And somebody gets sick and they replace that person just with a completely different type of person, and that decides if someone lives or dies. And that's just how things work. This is how we have to do it. In this case, we had a guy who is removed from their jury because he has been a little bit shady about where he lived. I think I told you guys about that one the other day maybe, but you have to write where you live. They have to try to know what sort of information you're interacting with, how the jury pool's been tainted. And this guy was also kind of running his mouth that he wanted to be on this trial. So that's the other thing that you have to look for, right? People who want to be in the trial. So they have 6 replacements. That guy's being replaced. The guy yesterday was sick, had vertigo. What is it, folks? I don't know. I've always heard people say they had it.
Yeah, someone in Major League Baseball once had that.
I imagine
like Ryan Klesko or somebody like that. Some Brave.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And I always thought about, that's the only person I've ever heard that has vertigo besides, there's a movie called Vertigo, I think, like Alfred Hitchcock or something, but I never saw it. And I think it means that you don't have your balance, like it feels like you're falling.
You go
like there's some kind of
I don't know. So it sounds like something to do with distance. But so somebody just comes down with that yesterday, and they're being replaced. But yesterday was also the day where they give the jurors headphones and they just show them videos of the quote-unquote freak-offs or quote-unquote hotel nights.
Okay. Now we're talking.
This says LeBron James suffers from it.
Oh, God.
How do you do this, Dan? How do you support it? It's exhausting.
Yeah, you know that BPPV? I have it too.
I remember one time
I invented it.
I was looking up.
There was no vertigo until I
went up for a layup and I fell and
diagnosed me with
got to be vertigo.
This is not really a story. I think it's because it's more of an anniversary, but NBC's website today has a note on an event that took place in Midlothian that was simply to remind everyone that they still haven't caught the person who killed Missy Beavers.
Is that the fitness instructor or something? Early morning?
10 years ago. And
10?
More on that Monday.
Nice. Our
What do you
guest
mean?
Monday was a private eye guy.
He has some theories.
Considering
has a
OJ
theory.
and juries. No, it's been 10 years, and they had an event yesterday to market. And I think there's like a true crime podcast ongoing right now about it, maybe called True Crime Broads.
Okay.
But yeah, 10 years ago.
Is it really called True Crime Broads?
It
yes.
So I call them broads, and it's...
I know.
That's offensive. They do it, and it's fine. And then I did the same routine as Chris Rock. And then all of a sudden I'm a racist.
And one more here real quick, Dan. It's really a tough day for, I don't know, minor league hockey marketing guys everywhere who have just been waiting in the weeds because Gary Glitter has had his parole denied by the parole board in Thailand. Is it Thailand?
Explain minor league hockey guy waiting. What does that mean?
I imagine that all over America, there are minor league hockey teams with wild-ass marketing and promo guys that the second Gary Glitter is freed are like, fuck it, we'll do it. We'll have him here. We'll have him do the song live. It doesn't matter the art from the artist. It doesn't matter that he was a pedophile.
We play the song, right?
I bet you don't hear it at NHL arenas anymore, dude.
No?
Dude, all you hear at NHL arenas now is like, it's fucking Skrillex all day. It's crazy laser music.
I swear I heard it recently somewhere.
Dude, Does anybody else feel like they hear that song anymore?
It used to be.
It went for a long
like
time.
Jock Jams.
Oh, yeah. Oh. For sure.
I swear to you, I've heard it recently. And I remember thinking this is a bad time to play it. And as I'm thinking about it, it might have been at a high school game.
Maybe it's back.
Where
A lot
they
of things are
had
back.
like the middle school kids run out there to Gary Glitter, and I thought the irony there was really weird.
Oh, I could see it still
They were
being
running
used.
from Gary Glitter.
All right, there's your news.
All right. Well, here's the clip.
Problem is the song rocks.
It's a great song.
I love that beginning part where those guys are just going, hey,
Hey.
Get pumped up, baby.
So if Today in History and stuff could be brought to us by Underdog Fantasy. Let me look at the Major League Baseball portion of our copy. Go yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Pick'em game. Like go yard, like they would say that in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And they're putting it right in the copy. Let's see. It's one of the leading sports apps. You can play now in your state. We play it. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. They have a rhetorical question here. Will you be next? You could be.
Well, what if someone does it before me?
Well, then hurry up. Download the app.
It wouldn't be next anymore.
You choose whether a player is going to go higher and low or lower on one of their stats. You could choose like home runs or strikeouts, total bases, so much more. Unfortunately, they don't cover. What is the Allen men's softball? What league are you in?
Oh, no, because I would have been taken higher on the Blake Smash for sure.
Playing on Underdog is a can of corn.
That's
Explain that to me.
absolutely not in the copy.
It is. Look at the copy. I'm looking at the MLB part. Just download the app, then pick higher or lower on player stats. They say it's a can of corn, and they've always like that's an old timey phrase, which meant it was like an easy pop up or something. But why?
I don't know.
Because the corn used to be on the top shelf, and so you'd get like a stick or something and poke it off and just catch it.
Oh, sick. Learn
Nice
something
job.
new every day. You know what else?
Do all the rest of the Underdog stuff.
Yeah.
No,
You know what
Underdog's
else?
fun. It's
It is.
a
I
good
like
bit.
I like doing it for Rangers games. It's very fun to do during games. Bet the higher lowers on the pitchers there. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code DUMBZONE to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code Blake.
DUMBZONE.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. This is one of those. Terms apply. Concern for your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Boom.
Wait, that's wrong. This. Damn it. Boom. Everything was perfect.
And it was on purpose for you. Just have it set up.
It was great. No, I had the finger on the wrong thing. No, I didn't. I wanted to make that really cool and smooth.
I'm not going to do them fast.
I saw him. He was
I'm just saying, I messed up.
And then he moved his cursor over. I saw him do it.
Homer Simpson fingered it.
Why would you say I'm intentionally trying to make you look bad? I would never do that.
Because when we have Jared on, you run his volume up and down, and it confuses him. And then later he's like, "Is everything okay on the volume?" I'm like, "No, it's good, dude. Didn't hear it." No, I didn't text it.
So, a couple viewer mail birthdays. We have Dear Dan, please wish me happy Kenny Pickett with the Browns times Dylan Gabriel with the Browns' birthday.
Good
more
grief.
Dan, more bad beats. Can we get an update from the Blake Jones Facebook group? And is Jake ready to retire from flag football? From Adrian Vasquez. Or Vasquez.
Let me see how the Blake Jones group is doing.
Blake is in a Facebook group with other people named Blake Jones. How many people were there? Last count.
There was like 50 or something. Let me see.
So people from across the nation, and you just say stuff to each other like, "Hey, Blake. Hey, how you doing, Blake?"
Yeah, when Key and Peele did the Balake thing, we were just bitching about that. Everyone calls us Balake now.
I could see that. Dear Grand Excavator of the Unmentionable Depths, please wish former buoy volunteer great and proud owner of the largest calf muscles in Arlington ISD history, Alan Mashek. A happy anniversary. Let's see. His leaders are Dan's naked sleeping habits and Jake's post-sportsgasm clarity. More Sarah Hepola, please. Beep Gillespie, Georgetown, Texas. We're getting more and more Sarahs.
It's so weird.
Since her appearance at the DZ GSE. Dear Dan, day 2, 10/17 here. I have a few requests.
Okay, well,
It is my wife's birthday. Shout out for her. Her name is Megan. She's 34. Julie is her leader.
Happy birthday, Megan.
I will let my can of snakes go off on her tonight. I think Jake helped a couple conceive a child somehow a while back. I don't remember the details on this, but if he works that same magic for us, I'll dedicate the baby to the Dumb Zone, maybe even name the baby something Dumb Zone related. And I'm starting 2 fan clubs. First, the Flaggett's Great to Have You Club for Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think you really have to do the it thing for Flagg, but he's doing Kip.
Oh, yeah. Second, I don't know who John Kukla is at Fox 4, but you reference him so often, I'm starting his fan club.
I want in. I'll be the treasurer.
Mm-hmm. The Kukla Clan.
I'm sure his bosses will love that.
Nuck Fico, the QB who cries after losing to Washington. And
good luck, kids.
Yeah, so today, do some on this day, Thursday, June 19th. Juneteenth.
Where did Nico end up?
It's Juneteenth because on this day in
Harrison?
1865, Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas with news that the Civil War was over and that all remaining slaves in Texas were free, and events celebrated to this day as Juneteenth, a thing I never heard of growing up in Ohio. Did not know something such as Juneteenth even existed.
We didn't know, you didn't know. We thought everyone knew.
Yeah, that was not taught to us.
Yeah. Now, was it taught to us and framed in a, boy, this seems to have been a little shady? No.
It was like, this is awesome.
It was like, well, they were just telling them. They got there to tell them.
On this day in 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York in pieces. It was a gift from France. The base was not a part of the gift, and that required large public donations to be built.
That's a bitch move from France.
Yeah. Hey, here's this really cool statue.
Oh, okay. It's going to cost you about $5,000 to get it up and running, dude. And I brought you all the, and also you're going to have to pay the gift tax. Like, okay, thanks. That's a brother-in-law move.
On this day in 1974, Steve Busby threw a no-hitter. Hard to believe.
I know.
Hard to believe old people once weren't old.
It's shocking, man.
Like that picture of Chappie, I'm like, holy crap.
Dude, that's Joe.
He is awesome.
He'll be weirded out because he listens to our show, but I saw Hunter Cannon, our friend Hunter Cannon, former Norm intern at basketball the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't look old or bad. He looks good, but I've known him since he was like 19, and now he looks like a man.
Yeah.
And it's super weird for me. Like, this guy just looks like an adult man. Our interns grow up.
On this day in 2015, Alex Rodriguez had his 3,000th hit, and it was a home run off Verlander. The home run was caught by someone named Zach Hampel.
Yeah.
He's the author of a book, How to Snag Major League Baseball's More Than 100 Tested Tips That Really Work. He has thousands of, like, I went to his website today, like, really? What? I didn't ever hear of this guy. And yeah, he got like Mike Trout's first home run ever. Like somehow, like I've been going to games forever, and that was my whole thing. I'd bring a mitt to a game. Every game, I never got a foul ball or a home run. I wanted a home run. I didn't want to sit in foul territory. I thought that would suck.
Well, this guy actually you say you went to his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
He became a thing. We talked about this at the time, and he had like a number of controversies.
Oh.
Just of ways he was getting into games and ways he was getting balls to people, of course, are not going to love the guy.
Haters.
Yeah, a lot of haters. He'll fight you online.
On this day in let's go to 1999 first. Brett Hull scores at 14:51 of the third overtime. As the Dallas Stars win the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, beating the Buffalo Sabres 2-1. Second longest overtime game in Stanley Cup Finals history.
It's funny to me that Lindy Ruff was the coach for the Sabres, and during their parade or whatever, he's like, "Oh, it's no goal." And then as soon as he's hired by the Stars, some beat reporter, "Hey, do you think it's a goal now?"
That's what they got to do, Blake. They have to churn the shit machine.
I guess, just really lame.
On this day in 2016, Jake knew that he would have to wear a full Cleveland Cavaliers uniform at Cowboys training camp.
Amazing.
As LeBron and the Cavs give Cleveland their first title since 1964, coming back from a 3-1 finals deficit. That's when we made the bet, right?
Mm-hmm.
At down 3-1?
Yes. I didn't make the bet till they were down 3-1.
I think that's correct.
Because I know my sports, bro.
You knew Draymond would be suspended for Game 6?
You're saying that's the only reason they won?
I played a factor, I think.
You know who else played a factor?
Another hater.
Kyrie?
Kevin Love. Dan.
Yeah?
And I want you to
Why?
Acknowledge that.
Were you wearing a Kevin Love uniform?
No, I just think you Chris Bosh, Kevin Love. They're
Yeah.
both awesome, and they both are just spares to you. They might as well have been Chris Kaman.
Well, part of it might be then that they re-upped him.
Yeah.
When clearly they shouldn't have. And
that old.
Hey, you know how we lost Kyrie and LeBron? What if we just paid Kevin Love all
good
the
dude,
money?
hometown $40 million discount?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I read you a quick Zach Hampel Wikipedia page thing? So in 22, he entered a prohibited section at Coors Field where you needed a specific ticket to try to get an Arenado home run ball. They told him, you got to have a ticket. He said no. They tried to eject him. He wouldn't leave. And Usher also said that Hampel had grabbed a ball dropped by a young fan and refused to return it, leading to Chicago Cubs pitcher Marcus Stroman criticizing him and, quote, calling him a loser. So he's just that guy. You know the guy that baseball players are like, dude, stop.
Tom Grieve
Dork.
hates him.
Oh, yeah.
I support him. Let's get him on.
No, he's just you.
Like that kid. I've been going to games. 40 years old. I've been going to games forever. This little kid who's 8 will have no appreciation for this baseball. Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Birthdays today. Famous people birthdays. This would certainly be our birthday of the day, but you know how that birthday of the day is a floating kind of a thing. But today is the 47th birthday of Dirk Nowitzki.
Man.
I will not let that make me sad.
It's sad because he doesn't like the Mavs. Dirk is one of us. Jacob deGrom is 37.
Ace. Very fun to watch. A joy.
For now.
Well, you know,
Anthony Kim is 40.
if a guy just wanted to enjoy sports.
The tweeting golfer.
Is that him?
Yeah, I forgot about...
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought it was Michael.
Damn it.
Didn't you at some point
Is
there?
that him?
No,
Yeah.
hold on.
Are you sure?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is it,
I
hold
think
on.
it's
Yeah.
Michael.
At some point in our little interaction there, didn't you, like, the alarm go off? Boy, Jake seems to know more about this than he normally would.
No.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know, but I actually
know anything.
I had
I
this
know
confusion just the other day of, like, isn't there a Anthony Kim? It's not him.
Okay, so this is the guy that got some kind of an injury in 2012 and had a life insurance policy which guaranteed him like $15 or $20 million if it was a career-ending injury, so he stopped playing.
Yeah.
Then he's been recently signed by the Live Tour, and he plays Live Golf now.
Dude, I
So I
randomly
don't know if
was...
he had to give that money back or what.
I randomly was in some of it, but it was also still being like maybe Liv was going to
Pay it
underwrite
off?
some of it.
Yeah.
I randomly was in the car one Saturday morning and heard the T-Box talking about this, and it's fascinating. Because he, like, couldn't recreationally golf. You know what I
I'm
mean?
so sad for you. Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, that's a
I
weird...
also don't.
No, of course, obviously, but, like, he had to almost... It's not faking it, you know what I mean? But you're like, I have to stay hurt.
Right.
To keep getting this money.
Jason White is 45.
The quarterback?
The former
OU?
Sooner
Wow.
quarterback. Jordan Poole is 26.
He got punched and paid.
Salman Rushdie is 78.
People wanted to kill him for a long time. They still want to kill him?
Felicia Rashad is 77.
Where does Jason White rank for all-time worst Heisman winners?
You know what? I think I've seen his name on the list. Are you an OU guy by any chance? Okay.
No, I thought that was a good.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you.
Boy.
My biggest fan back here.
You got a Qualis Roofing shirt. Did you get a roof or just a shirt?
I didn't even realize
Or
that.
just buy a shirt
He was at the event.
at the Qualis Pro Shop?
You can only buy him there.
Yeah, I got a keychain. Paula Abdul is 63.
A lot of Paula Abdul in my home.
Laker
growing
girl.
up.
Mia Sarah is 58. That's Ferris Bueller's Girlfriend and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You ever see that movie, Blake?
No.
Dude, okay, this list must be based on, like, how they performed in the NFL.
What are you looking at? Worst Heisman winners?
Yeah, because anybody who's putting Eric Crouch at number 1 didn't watch college football. Eric Crouch was a monster.
Zoe Saldana is 47.
Who's that?
Actress.
What's she in?
Just some stuff. Macklemore is 43.
When I was young, I thought I was gay. But then it turns out I was black. But now I'm white.
Do we have a Henry birthday of the day?
I'm surprised that wasn't it.
Well, I have our birthday of the day, but I don't think this will be Henry's, so I'll save mine. Because mine's funny. What do you got, Henry? Can you slow it down a little?
All right.
It just feels like there was no urgency in that at all.
I was just letting you go through your bit, you know, like
Your
extended
bit.
intro.
Do your bit, Dan.
Do your little thing.
Do your bit.
Okay, so for mine today, we're gonna go with wildly famous YouTuber KSI.
Even I
That's
know
a good
that.
one.
I hate him.
You know what I know about him, Dan? I believe he got beat up by Jake Paul.
They fought?
Oh, yeah. One of them fought him in a real fight.
Can we even know if that wasn't like scripted?
That's it's a real fight in the sense that it's on a U.S. boxing card. I do know that.
Okay.
KSI, Dan.
Also, the man that made one of the worst rap songs I've ever heard, called "Thick of It." I don't know if y'all have heard that or not, but he does like multiple things.
Are we still on KSI?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure here.
Yeah, I thought he was moving to
Yeah.
something.
No, like that's what I'm saying. Like,
KSI.
He's wildly popular and equally terrible.
Worth $20
at
million.
the same time.
Okay, next one? Or do you have another one?
No. We'll
Okay,
call it
KSI. That's a good one. That would not have been on Dan's list.
That is approved. You're right. That is not my birthday of the day. I did say I have one more. Our birthday of the day here will be 57-year-old today, Chris Del Conte.
Oh, wow.
Come on, CDC.
Dude, he's on the episode of Tires I saw last night.
Oh, they're just having different funny people on? Yeah.
Oh, didn't hit, but still. That was a great moment in Gribble history. You guys got to have Chris Del Conte on. He's hilarious.
Yeah, we were going to broadcast out in the parking lot or whatever, tailgating at TCU. And he was just pitching the TCU athletic director, who must have been pitched to him, or else he's not pitching it to us.
Sure.
Right? He's like, no, he's real funny. I've seen him in some interviews. Like, oh, okay.
I'm over there playing Seinfeld drops under everything the guy said.
Yeah.
We're at another section of the north end zone. Boom, 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 boom.
And then the thing is, it's kind of funny how he's actually the only athletic director I ever hear about in the news now. Like, he went to UT. He's kind of an a-hole. Like, even so, he used to work for TCU. When TCU visits UT, they would make their band sit in the very, very high, like the worst place in the stadium, whereas usually you give the band, quick access to the field, all that. Like, he's an antagonist, but
Tom might have been right, as history usually shows.
Yeah. Born on this day now dead, Nancy Marchand, who died the day before her birthday. Yesterday, we had her as dying.
Remind me.
Tony Soprano's mom.
Oh, yeah. Again, very creepy.
Also born on this day now dead, you have Lou Gehrig. And am I getting it right if I say this was an argument? Oscar Taveras.
Yes, I think so. That one was yeah.
That's the Cardinal. Now, that was his death day that got Jamie Newberg and Coop into
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
And despite, his early career struggles, turns out Profar was a better prospect.
Yeah.
That's right. They won that one.
Yeah.
JD won that one.
Yep.
Dead on this day, still dead. You have the singer of the greatest Christmas song that's out there, Jingle Bell Rock. Who's that, Blake? That's right, Bobby Helms. James Gandolfini died on this day. Manute Bol. And on this day in 2018, a Western lowland gorilla who was taught sign language at an early age.
Jake.
Eventually learned more than 1,000 words, including suicide, right? He learned the word suicide because he was sad.
I think they used like eliminated or something.
He died on this day at the age of 46. Coco.
Funny man. Ooh.
Coco the gorilla.
And that was today.
It just, I don't know. It remains remarkable to me. Like, what else did? Hey, Coco, the stock market's down. Like, how much bad news did they give it? Just let it live.
Anyway,
that's a sick backpack. I may have to consult with you on that.
Sure.
I got a trash backpack that these guys are gonna blame me for saying the backpack sucks.
This one doesn't have great protection for your laptop, though. So
okay. Well,
might not pass muster.
Yeah.
We're now going to be at closing remarks. We could say closing remarks is brought to us by
The key to muscles and wealth. It's game day men's health.
Game Day Men's Health. How
Game
about
Day
that?
Men's Health. How about that?
GameDayMen'sHealth.com is the website. And if you mention the Dumb Zone, they'll give you 10% off your TRT for life. Forever.
Forever.
Your life. Forever in your life.
Scott Foster.
Yeah, who do we start with? Because I think Chris wanted to have some closing remarks as well.
We got time.
Do you got something, Chris? Or no? Did you not want a closing remark?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You've had enough?
Give him that mic, Henry.
You have had quite a few remarks already.
Yeah, I don't get on to the boards or anything, but I'm sure they've blown up about he's had 15 minutes, so that's fine. But no, I just wanted to thank you guys for doing what you do. And I know how cheesy
For
that
allowing
sounds.
you to wake up at 6 a.m. every Sunday morning for 17 weeks in a row.
You guys have been with me for 15 whatever years. And I just wanted to tell you thank you. I mean, this is the first time we've really ever met, and I just want to tell you guys thank you for whatever it is you do and having all of us along for the ride. Like I said earlier, I'm a realtor, and I spend a lot of time in the car. And, way back when at the ticket, it just made my day easier that I knew that, I had 3 hours with you guys in a day. So, so that's about it. Other than that, Sarah, give me a call.
Oh, that's why he wanted to close your mouth.
I might have been the one that she made the reference to that someone asked her out on Instagram.
Nice.
So I might have.
Okay.
So,
Did you approach her at the...
I introduced myself and then apologized for doing that.
But then she was like, "Oh, this man's a
quite a
snack.
height discrepancy
An
there too."
XL snack.
Although she might be just the right height for old 6'5" Chris.
Anyway, but so I actually apologized to her.
No, it's okay. You don't have to apologize. That's one of the things is back is they have to say no twice now.
Okay, good.
No, that's. I don't think we're supposed to say like that's very rewarding and cool to hear, but it is very rewarding and cool to hear. So I appreciate it.
Homo.
I know.
Are you in for next season?
Don't, you asshole. He already said he would do the All-Star game. We're going to go. We're going to mic you up. We're going to be talking to you like I'm Carl Ravitch over there.
Okay. When is the All-Star game?
July 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there for the All-Star game for
Is
sure.
that a Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we broadcast?
We'll be there.
Let's do play-by-play.
Something, for sure.
So good. Yeah.
The tradition unlike any other. It's a fucking Midsummer Classic, baby. I'll be there.
Could that be our Monday broadcast? Like if we did that and then...
Well, the problem is we kind of need him for most everything we do.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to set it up and then leave.
And, there's all the
that
kids.
That is a problem.
All the kids who have been rooting for their shitty Garza Cardinals team, they know they only get one player, and this is the only time of the year that they're going to get to see their guy on the big stage.
I should also stop talking. It's going to be 1,000,000 degrees.
I'll be there.
No, I'll be there, but just to
listen.
set everything up and be
we don't.
sweating our balls
I don't think we
off.
want a full day out there. Yeah.
Oh, Clayton's like, look, I do not want to go out there.
But we'll be there in some form. So thank you, Chris.
Just to wrap it up, I'm not a big fan when everyone comes in and gives you guys gifts, but I'm going to do it. So, Jake, this one's for you.
Oh.
You're still a recovering
Dude, I'm going to have one
gay.
right now.
0.0.
These are good, and I'll tell you why. Here's what I've discovered. Because I stopped drinking NAs up until about a month ago. It's because they're good when it's hot outside. Because what I'm looking for is not the effect of beer. I'm just looking for the taste and the cold. And you can really only get it in a bottle. So this is perfect.
Yeah. All right.
These, I'm still drinking these.
And I don't know if they're still a sponsor.
Well, they're still a friend.
Okay, well, then if they're still a friend, then I brought Tito's for the rest of it.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can do a little shot for you in this.
All right.
So thank you so
much. Are you
much.
talking about a shotty?
I think he puts his, like a hint of lemonade or something. I don't remember what he said.
Yeah, it's a shotty. Well, thank you, Chris. Cheers.
Yes, thanks for your work. Scott, who is not an NBA referee and does not have the mustache unironically.
And didn't put in the work.
Yeah.
That Chris did.
No, but was this a worthy gift from your wife?
Oh, yeah. She knew I've been talking to her about this idea for a while.
Okay.
But we live in the Austin area. And I missed you guys when you were down there, whatever it was now, 6 or something weeks ago. And I had just talked to her in passing about, I wonder if there's, Blake hates to drive, but I wonder if there's any way, since they've proven they can make it to Austin, that we could get them down here for a sit-in. And I didn't know, she was doing things in the background, so it was kind of a last-minute surprise when I found out. But it was maybe the day after she told me, hey, I've booked this, so I'm only telling you now so you can make arrangements. Like the very next podcast I listened to, you guys were talking about doing the show outside in the heat. And I don't like the heat either, so it totally resonated, but it was a little bit hysterical because Blake made some throwaway comment about, no, I don't want to be in your fucking backyard in the middle of June in Austin. And I was like, I wouldn't want to do that either. No wonder. Tam's like, no, AC.
It's high on the rider. Do we still have the rider?
Yeah, we do. And you guys don't appreciate the amount of times, hey, can you drive to Austin for a sit-in? And now he's here on the couch. So.
Well, obviously your tactics work because I'm here.
Yeah.
Right, so.
I still close the deal.
We will be back in Austin, I would say, every few months.
Yeah, we need to. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I definitely want to echo Chris. I told you guys, married this long lost love. That was very recent. So I was single for the first, 49 years of my life. And as all the friends are getting married and having kids, the relationships get more distant, and the podcast and the ticket kind of becomes like your constant companion. It's hazy now because it's been a long time, but I vaguely remember driving, I think I was going east on 635 when I heard Super G live. Just been following that shooting star ever since.
I was in a parking lot, Walmart parking lot, on my way to go canoeing, probably already drunk, and Bob and Dan had us on to play It's Just Banter's 4-hour review of the Guest Booking League. That was the first time TC and I, like, you guys were like, what the heck are these guys? And then
I thought it was so cool.
Started.
I met a guy at the DZGSE who said he's been doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Which was like Dumb Zone Extra.
Yeah.
And they would just do a podcast about our podcast.
Yeah, the Dumber Zone, I think.
That exists,
something like that.
That exists,
And I was like, that is awesome. That is the whole like when I first heard that IJB is doing a whole podcast about the Guest Booking League, I had to, like, these people are talking about us.
It's a very quick way
was-
to get the host to notice you.
It was very cool, but I thought it was a great breakdown. I mean, you broke it down like you would break down the draft.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it was...
Who wants this?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you were ripping us. Like, it wasn't like you were saying, this is great.
Yeah.
You were saying, this sucks. These guys suck. They're old. Why would you want this idiot on? And I thought it was hilarious. And, yeah, I want the guy... I got to look that up. The Dumber Zone?
Yeah.
There's supposedly a listener out there.
They were nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Doing a podcast. Yeah, okay. Anyway, sorry.
That's just a cool moment to think of. Oh, again, gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick story for you, Dan. Well, I think all you guys will appreciate it, but you talk a lot about, book club or having the opportunity to get some alone time. And my wife and I both have had very explicit conversations about that for, the last couple of years, just talking about not understanding couples that don't get why it would be valuable to give the other person some time. But it still managed to surprise me. So she told me about having booked this sit-in, and then I was excited about it, and I was like, okay, so, or she asked me a few days later, like, well, have you made the arrangements for your trip? And I said, well, you're coming, right? Like, I want you to meet the guys, and, we can it's my birthday, like, we can hang out. She's like, oh, no, I'm sure you would enjoy it much more if you just have it all to yourself. I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, I didn't pay for 2 sit-ins, so I don't think I can be there, and I don't think we could afford another. And I was like, do they bring guests? Is there a cost? So whatever. And days getting closer, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't really want to book a hotel and stay in Dallas. I'll just drive up in the morning and drive back, and then we can have the evening together. And then she asked me what I was up to, and I told her, well, I think I'm just going to drive home, after the pod's done. And she was like, well, I was thinking I would have a day to myself. Like, you
Oh.
It's like, here's the gift. Go up there and stay there.
The double birthday present. Yeah, the present for her.
That's right.
That's nice.
So now you got a hotel to stay? Or?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Works out for everyone. And now in the future that maybe that is what she wants, just to be by herself, and you'll know that ahead of time.
Yeah, I have no problem with it in general. It caught me off guard in this particular instance.
That's like a lie you tell your kid. Oh, I can't go. I'd have to pay.
Right.
You can't afford for both of us to go.
No.
Like we've had guys bring 5 or 6 guys.
We're like Southwest Airlines or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Pay for the seat.
Anyway, I thought you guys would appreciate
You either
that.
have to pay or you have to go to 17 softball games.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how you can get in here.
It's a hard bargain. And then I had a bunch of questions, but I guess really just one.
You can ask any and all questions you'd like.
Well, I don't want to beat you guys down.
Dan's already
Too late, bro.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm just kidding.
Dan's already worked out,
I did
man.
walk in the door.
Yeah,
He's got nothing to do.
Overtime, baby.
That's right.
Well, the main one, I think, like the most important one for people that have been listening to all the early, following this whole journey, you guys had a lot of kind of audible angst for obvious reasons as things were starting up in the transition from the ticket. And it sounds like things are going much better. This place, like, you guys are clearly, like, in a form, seem to have this all down to a science at this point relative to where it started. But do you guys feel like you're in a much better place? Like, the people that were concerned for your financial welfare and how all that stuff was going, all the stressors, is that feeling significantly improved, or at least on a good track? And no comments, fine. I'm not trying to pry.
I'll say both of those things. You just answered it. They are improved, and it feels like it's on a nice track, but it's all a house of cards sometimes in my head. Like, I don't know. Like, you talk about ratings, pressure, or whatever, like, you have zero idea what that means unless you're out here, and this is actual. You can actually have numbers. You literally see exactly how many people are listening. It's not a guess that you can then go sell to a bunch of people. And yeah, not having the security of like a contract, a guaranteed deal, all that kind of stuff, or something like insurance. Yeah, those things are bothersome. So
yeah, I think.
But it is like people that we've met are awesome, and the advertisers we've hooked up have been awesome. So yeah, I think it's looking all right.
Yeah,
like we think.
I don't know. I think.
But you don't want. I think don't forget Winston Wolfe is my thing.
I never can, for sure, and I appreciate that about you. But I think if it was audible that there was tension or anxiety or whatever before, I hope it's audible now that this is just a lot of fucking fun. Like, I just love doing this. I love being around them. It's just a lot of fun. It's way more fun than anything I've ever done. To Dan's point, though, I do think I have like a different fear about like the quality of anything we do. Because like there's definitely, if you have a contract, you kind of just show up and do your best that day, whatever. But I worry a lot more.
If it goes bad, it goes bad.
I worry a lot more
bad,
now that the show sucks than I ever did before. Like, I drive home and I'm like, that might have been terrible. But I didn't do that before. But it's also way more fun. So I don't know. We've met like great people. This feels like a cool thing. Not that it wasn't a cool thing before, but did that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, it definitely sounds different. And I was definitely, it's a long time ago now, but I was really happy when Blake joined. You guys, it felt like the chemistry that was on the previous show kind of snapped back with the three of you.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say like we wouldn't have done it without him, but it was pretty much like it was going to happen or it wasn't going to happen. Like, when we left, we had to get Blake.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what, 400% of your old salary? What are we at here?
Yeah,
that's all that counts.
Something like that.
The thing that jumped out to me about that story is that the Cowboys were paying the cheerleaders less than Blake pays Angelo before this race.
That's a really good way to put it.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
Yeah. They got the mic, Blake, Jake, and Dan. Talking sports, pop news, they got the plan. Birthdays rolling in, they light the flame. Fans on check in, it's the same old game. Dumb zone where the convo flows. Unfiltered talk where the energy grows. From hoops to the stars to the wildest shows. Dumb zone, baby, everyone knows. They hit that rhythm, unscripted play. From the court to the screen to what Jake might say. Dan drops heat, Blake rides the wave. Listener beat days in the Pod Hall of Fame. Dumb zone where the convo flows. Unfiltered talk where the energy grows. From hoops to the stars to the wildest shows. Dumb zone, baby, everyone knows. They hit that rhythm, unscripted play. From the court to the screen to what Jake might say. Dan drops heat, Blake rides the wave. Listener beat days in the Pod Hall of Fame. Dumb zone where the convo flows. Unfiltered talk where the energy grows. From hoops to the stars to the wildest shows. dumb zone, baby, everyone knows. Raise a toast to the zone, uncut truth. Explicit thoughts with some beeped out proof. From sideline moments to life uncouth. Dumb zone's king, they just own the booth. Cracking jokes while they set the scene. Verbal highlights like a movie screen.